fettling. I'm not.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Oh, just put it down. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Sit on your hands.
No, it's not fair. I hate you.
You forgot your Rubik's Cube again, didn't you?
I hate you. It's so cruel.
When I joined Colin earlier, about 15 minutes ago, Colin was already in the thing here in the StreamYard, and I came in and he was already sanding stuff, and he was like, "I'm doing it again."
I know.
He can't help himself.
I'd literally only pulled the stuff out of the box. Still, don't grass me up when we go live, will you, mate?
I won't. Anyway, hey everyone, welcome.
Oh.
welcome one and all to Warhammer Sunday. Yes, that time of the week when me and Colin crack on and get some buildy done or some painty. If you remember, we are in the midst of a special educating Festa project where we will be building. I couldn't say that. We will be building. Yeah, that too. We are building a Leman Russ each, and then when they're built, I will be showing Colin how I paint things. Not the right way to paint things, don't get me wrong. I'm a rubbish painter, I'm a mediocre painter. I'll be showing him how I paint things so he can use those techniques in his own little set of techniques. So that's what we're going to be doing. But welcome one and all. Before we get going, quick shout out to my sponsors, emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Link in the description below the video. And also to my patrons and channel members who support me directly. They keep this channel alive and well. And welcome to my new patrons who joined today. Welcome, thank you. Yes, if you want to become a patron or a channel member and support the channel, keep it alive, you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Links, the address is on the bottom of the screen there, or you can become a channel member by pressing the join button, and you can do the same on Colin's channel. I must stop calling you Colin, it's too formal. The same on Festa's channel. I'm not your mother. Same on Festa's channel. You can go to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or you can press join under his videos. One of the perks of which is that you can join the live 24/7 off-air 24/7 I said that. Zoom Hangout, where you can hang out with all the other patrons and members of both our channels and have a jolly good time, either in the Facebook group, just text, or in Zoom on a camera. So there you go.
Absolutely, folks.
That's that stuff. Now, it's not just me, as always. It's not just me doing this rubbish. It's Festa, and it's Colin against Festa. Festa, hello, matey. How you doing?
I am fine and dandy, mate. Yourself.
For new viewers, who the bloody hell are you?
Who am I? I'm Festa 67's workshop. Got my own YouTube channel. Been building kits since I was about 9. I'm known for not doing stuff out the box. You know, I'm a bit radical when it comes to building. I like chopping things up and making them my own. So I have this childlike way of building kits that I like to explore and customise them and things like that.
It just fascinates me.
And I also build along with Foxx for the guys over at eModels.
Build along with Foxx. Yeah. I'd put in the Nancy Kaminsky painting music, but it's kind of copyright, so...
Absolutely. So, yeah, I've only recently got into Warhammer due to Foxx badgering me.
Hello.
And
I don't know.
Got into Orc. Love doing Orcs. And,
that's because you are an Orc.
I'm constantly saying to him when he's brush painting, how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? So he's now educating Festa on a few techniques that will be added to my armoury, folks.
Colin's learning how to paint, to do brush painting and that. He's teaching himself different techniques, and he's learning from all different people. And he wants to see my techniques to add them to his little box of tricks, and he can either use them or adapt them or do whatever he wants with them.
Absolutely.
But it is important for me to say again, I'm not working on the assumption that I'm a painting god and therefore I'm giving him my awesome knowledge. That's nonsense. I'm just a mediocre painter. But he wants to know how I do things. I'm going to show him.
Absolutely.
So, that's what we're doing. We're still at the build that he's already going.
Sorry.
He really can't help himself.
I know, I'm bad, and
if I ever get... It's like, you would never succeed at the marshmallow test, would you?
What's that?
There's a test to show, like, how kids can prioritise things. You put a small child, like 5 years old, he's already doing it, put a small child, like 5 years old, in front of a table with a marshmallow on a plate. And you say to them, I'm going to go out the room for a few minutes. Now, you can either eat the marshmallow now, which is fine, or... if when I come back it's still there, I'll give you 3 marshmallows. And then they leave the room and watch the kid. And if you ever watched like kids doing the marshmallow test, it's like the most tumultuous battle of wills. The kids there going because they want the marshmallow there and then, but they also know if they wait, they'll get more. But it's for like a 5-year-old kid, it's this massive battle between good and evil in their brain, and they just go.
Absolutely, I would be saying to the person, "But there isn't a marshmallow on me bench." And they'd be going, "I'm sure there was." No, there ain't. And I would have snaffled it as soon as they had started, mate.
Oh yeah. No, I'm going to leave the room. He's gone. Oh.
Yeah, I'd be going, "No, there's not one here, mate." Look.
But if you ever get a chance, just do a YouTube search for the marshmallow. I mean, I don't like children, but I think it's hilarious just watching their faces scrunch up while they're thinking. It's just brilliant. It's hilarious. Yeah. So that's you, basically. You'd fail at that.
I do have a childlike imagination, I must admit, and I like to bring that to my kits as best I can.
Yeah. So. I shall have a quick look and chat and see who's in before I get going. You're already going, so I'll leave you to it.
No, I've got to be good.
No, you can crack on. I
can chat, Dolly, if you want.
No, that's all right. You crack on. Box Fox Scoop was the first in 2 hours ago, at least 2.5 hours ago.
Absolutely.
Welcome to you, Box Fox. Wendy Hickson, of course. Big hugs to Wendy. Welcome to you.
Big hugs.
Notice, by the way, some people have got coloured names and little symbols next to them. They're channel members. That's one of the things you get as a channel member.
Yeah, you get perks.
Jeff, Candygram from Mongo, is in. Says hi to everyone. Big hugs all around. Colin at Festa 67's workshop. I'm just going to stop saying Colin. I'm going to blank that word from my memory. Festa is in. Not least because that's my cousin's name and he's persona non grata around here. Muse is... Oh, have you said... Yes, you have. Muse is in.
I have. Oh, yeah. I've been chat dollying, mate. I've been proper whilst you've been in makeup, mate. I've been keeping the channel going.
It takes a lot of work to look this pretty, you know what I mean? Like the builders in all the time. So Muse, welcome to you, Muse. Big hugs. As wanders in and sets the coffee pot down. Muse drinks straight from the pot. She doesn't bother with cups.
Absolutely.
When is Foxy going to learn that makeup makes you look older? Wait, what? Yeah. Fox wearing makeup, says Box Fox. Femboy Fox confirmed. Steady now.
Yeah, I may have told everyone that you were still in makeup preening.
Oh, he says he's still in makeup. Oh, I saw that. Oh, do you know? I can rely on you to sully my reputation without any effort.
Absolutely, mate. Would you have done the same if you'd been left alone in my chat?
I'd say you had the builders in.
Absolutely.
Adeptus Latrina is in. Welcome, Adeptus. They say good morning, everyone, or afternoon. Muse says about me, he's just your average princess. I'm not an average princess. I'm the best princess. Please, come on.
Oh, yeah, he takes princess into a whole new level, Muse.
Adeptus says I got off work 4 hours ago and started my weekend. I only have 3 working days left in this sun-blasted hellscape, 8 total days, and the gal I love back home is 1 year clean today. Oh, good, awesome.
Oh, good for you, mate.
Box Fox says, glad to hear it, Adeptus toiletries. I think that's maybe autocorrect. And they put an extra hash brown in my McDonald's bag on the way home.
Oh.
He said he cannot wait to escape the Mojave and return to his Blue Ridge. That's probably why he's singing I Got Spurs, they jingle jangle. It's a song that was used in last Fallout New Vegas, and it's one of the rarest songs that can be an earworm to me if I don't pay attention. As I roll my merrily along. Yes, I know that game. I played that game. He also says, patrolling the Mojave makes you almost wish for a nuclear winter. I was not impressed with Fallout.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Fallout New Vegas. I preferred Fallout 3. Let's have a look. Who else is in? Lynn Dipple's in. Hi, Wendy Hugs, says Lynn. Welcome to Lynn. Hi, Fox, Colin, Muse, Adeptus, Box, Fox Hugs. My internet is being updated, so it's been going on and off. So I'll try and be around, but I'll be falling out. Matron.
Hope you're all right, Lynn.
As long as you clean up afterwards, it'll be fine. Man's got to make a living. Achievement unlocked, earworm implanted, says Candygram. Oh yes. Box Fox says he's had that song in his head all week. Yes. Box Fox says, speaking of sarcophagi, I'm making a bunch of Admech Necron cultists. They worship Necrons and use Necron tech. Cool. Adeptus says, the Myriad Gundam kits are now secure in their original boxes and packed as well. Soon I shall be ready to make the 2,400-mile trip.
Wow.
See, we've got no concept of that, because if we travelled 2,400 miles, we'd be in the American place.
Yeah, we'd be in the American place or Italian place.
Yeah.
Or,
It's like if I drove for 2,400 miles, I'd be in like the Arctic. Whereas to American, 2,100 miles is just a trip to the local Walmart. We have no sense of scale in this country.
It's a bit like the Australians, isn't it? When they say, I'm going into town. Yeah, town's about 2,500, 3,000 miles away when they're in the bush. It's like,
The amazing thing with Australia is when you look at where all the major cities and stuff is, they live right on the skin of the outside of the country.
Yeah.
Such a massive landmass, and yet they're all on the outline. There's very little once you go inside. It's amazing.
Yeah. Everything wants to kill you out there as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've never go to Australia. I'm never ever going to Australia. Even the air is like, Australian death air. Jeff says, I visited the Blue Ridge Mountains as a kid. Absolutely one of the most beautiful areas I've ever been.
Yeah.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome heart. Sorry. If you don't know Laurel and Hardy, what are you doing with your life? Shut up, go and watch it.
It was like he was in the room then, mate.
Yeah, well, I didn't start with the banging on the head.
Yeah.
Paul J. Lewis is in. A sunny afternoon. Foxx and Colin, hugs to all in chat. Andy McLeish is also in.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Andy. Hope you're both okay.
Welcome to you to Adeptus says, I learned about grumpy British old guys in the Zoom Hangout. It's very much worth it, yes. If you are a patron and member already and you've not been in the Zoom Hangout, there are links in the description below for patrons and members to follow that give you all the login information and the password. So do feel free to come along. If you've got a camera, you're more than welcome to join the Hangout. It's 24/7. It's not online. It's not live anywhere. It's just completely private. 24/7. Sometimes it's packed full. Sometimes there's nobody in there. But it's just a place to hang out while you're at the bench. But if you haven't got a camera or you don't want to do that, you can just join the associated Facebook group.
Absolutely.
In which there's instructions in there as well to how to join the Facebook group. That's chat only. Fox badgering you. What an interesting oxymoron. It's true.
Yeah.
Badger. Box Fox says you can legitimately drive 600 miles and see nothing besides maybe a gas station.
Wow.
And last but not least, Darren Edmonds is in and says, hello everyone, welcome Darren.
Hello, Darren. All right, mate.
Up to date with the chat. I've got the sniffles. For no reason at all, I have a Dodge Charger steering wheel.
Yeah, you was going to attach that to the Leman Russ, wouldn't you?
I could put it in there.
You'd never know.
It's my spare one for my part work, and it's on my bench. And I'm going to keep it on my bench for some reason. I've got to find a purpose for it, though. It's like, I can't really use it as a pointy stick because I can't really point with a steering wheel. I can go, it's there, look at that there. It's metal and heavy, but I'll find a use for it. Anyway, I've not even got the stuff out of the box. Gee whiz.
I know, he's useless, isn't he?
I am so
one job is all he had, folks. One
Do you know,
job.
I've not even got the box. So anyway, yes, we are making a Leman Russ. We're both making the same one. We've got the Leman Russ Demolisher kit, but that little stubby little beepis, little micro beepis is rubbish. We don't want that. We want the dirty great big Punisher.
Gatling gun of
with the dirty great big Gatling gun that fires a bajillion rounds a microsecond.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we don't want this little micro beepis because that's rubbish. We want proper bigness. So
nah, we don't want that.
No. Now
Foxy little gun.
No, we don't want little stubs. It's probably a really powerful weapon, but it looks like, no. Looks like something you wouldn't want to go get changed in the changing rooms and expose. Right, so we're going to carry. Now, what we're doing is we're both making the same thing. As you know, Colin is wont to add millions of things to his tanks, but because I'm going to be showing him how to paint it, we can't really get too adventurous. Because if he suddenly builds something on his that isn't on mine, I can't show him how to paint it. So
exactly.
So we'll probably do some. We've done a little bit of modding, and we'll do some extra panels and stuff here and there. Because when we finish doing the gun, we might still have about an hour and a half left to go. So we might do some little bits of modding, like little greebles and stuff. But we're not going to add things to it that, like Colin would add, like 18 extra tracks and a pair of floats and like 6 different turrets and things. But I won't have that on mine. So we're just going to go along. But at the moment, we're just still doing the building bit. Today we're working on the guns and turrets. I've got to finish my turret. You're building your big shooty gun.
Yeah, I'm denubbing and sanding me gun and that bit.
The back bit.
Yeah, do we glue that on at this stage?
Yeah.
Are we gluing that on?
Yeah,
because it leaves a really unsightly big arse line right across the arse there, doesn't it? So
I've not taken mine off yet. Yes, that's where you can add, that's where you can do things like go into your greebles bag. Whenever I do these, I go into my greebles box and I look for like a little piece of armour panelling, or because there's like I've got some hatches and stuff, or you can put a bit of plastic card and some rivets or whatever.
Yeah, because that just looks absolute biblical gunge, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll probably put I've got a load of like little hatches and things I can put on the back. I'll probably put some panels on the sides before I put all the handrails on, and I have got a load of extra spare like grab rails and things that I can add. So you are free to modify it however you want, of course.
I've got to raid me greebles box later, so I shall have a looky-loo. But basically, see what's in there.
As long as it's just stuff that will still be painted the same as everything else, like panels and greebles.
Absolutely, I'm not going to go mad because I don't think
it doesn't need a sale.
I think for the size of it, it doesn't need too much.
Yeah, it's all greebles in it basically.
Yeah.
So I've got my 3 extra weapons built. I'm going to start building my big gun. I've not finished the turret yet.
He's good, isn't he?
And then once we've done all that, we can off camera get it all primed up, and then we can start the paintings. Yeah. However, I need to get my turret done. I've got spurs. No, stop it.
We got Dude in, didn't we, last week? He's sitting there looking rather informative.
Are you going to glue your weapon in, or are you just having it so you can swap it out for all the other ones?
I honestly don't know yet which way to go with. What, you mean the Gatling gun?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to glue mine in because I'm only doing the one version. But...
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just goes in the octagon thing, so I don't think I need to magnetise it.
No, if you're just doing the one, you just glue it in. But I'm just thinking if you want to eventually...
I'm going to glue it in purely and simply because the others I'm going to use as greebles.
Okay, cool. I'm just thinking if you wanted to sell on eBay, you could do a magnetised option. Now, don't forget, don't glue the spotlight on, because we'll do something different with the spotlight. Right, so I've done those panels. I need to put that bit that...
Do you honestly think anyone would buy one of my builds?
Yeah. Of course they would.
So.
Excuse me. Clear my throat, one sec.
Let's get a bit of...
Coughing.
Splodge in there.
Yeah, they would. People in chat, would you build one, but would you buy one of Colin's builds?
Yeah. Andy McLeish says to us too, 7 tiers. Yeah, can't beat a bit of Goombay dance band.
Goombay dance band. I need to open the window, but I'd have to move the camera and I can't do that. Oh well, never mind.
Yeah.
It was cold when I started everything up. Now it's warm. I hate everything.
Citadel Skulls box could provide some nice Tyrannid trophies. Oh, good shout.
Mm-hmm.
My eldest boy's building Tyrannids.
The monstery things, the alien monstery type things.
Absolutely.
The thing with Tyranids is like they really are like what they call blob troops.
Yeah.
And a blob troop is basically the individual base unit, like the Imperial Guard will be the Imperial Guardsman will be a blob unit, because he's worth almost no points whatsoever because you have to have so many of them.
Yeah.
Like if you just had Imperial Guardsmen or just the base. I don't know if they're Hormagaunts or Termagaunts, whatever the basic single unit is, the simplest one. You have to buy like millions of them because you have like 20 of them, and your enemy might just shoot them and kill them all in one shot. So you have to swarm them with numbers.
Oh right, yeah.
So anything that's like really not particularly offensive, like an Imperial Guardsman who's got crap armour and a really rubbish laser weapon, by himself, he's not going to take much out, and he'll last about a second. But if you give him like 1,000 compatriots, they might do some serious damage to your enemy troops.
No.
So they're called blob troops because you have to field a lot of them. So yeah, but they're quite good because you can actually paint Tyranids, some of them dead easily, just with like better base and a wash, because they're all like flesh and carapace and stuff. So
yeah, they certainly look interested.
But it's one of those things that if you're going to do Tyranids, you have to be prepared to paint a lot of models.
Yeah, I think that's what my eldest lad's found out.
Yeah, same with Imperial Guard. If you're doing vehicles and stuff, it's fine. But if you want to do Imperial Guard and you want to field troops, you're going to have to paint a lot of guardsmen. Which is fine, because they're actually kind of fun to paint. They're not too hard.
Adeptus says that GSX-RR build Colin's doing is tickling all his fancies.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's for the guys at E-Models. I've got another one just up there in my stash, mate, that I'm going to be doing. So I will be doing another one.
Fox,
the one I'm going to be doing is got all the detail up for it as well. So, yeah.
Lovely detail up stuff, goodness.
Absolutely.
Well, as always, I'm going to make a concerted or conceited, whichever you prefer, effort this week to start on. Well, I've started on it, but to actually get some painting done on the E-Models Canis Rex Imperial Knight.
Oh, right.
I really need to get that done.
Yeah. Well, I've only got to voice over the last part of the Suzuki, and then that build can go up, and that's all finished and done. The guys at E-Models, I'm filming the Ninja H2 Carbon that Wendy very generously sent me, so that's going to be going up on the channel soon.
You know what I really want to paint that's in my stash?
What's that, mate?
Many years ago, Vincent sent me some stuff, and I think it was Vincent, and one of the kits was like a little Japanese food van.
Yeah, that was Vincent.
Yeah, a little van with like a little, you know, like you get like the burger vans where it's like a van with, and they make, but this is like it's octopus balls.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little like mobile octopus ball in the back of a van, and it's like 1/24 scale. It's like a little Nissan or Toyota van with.
Yeah.
And I feel we need to build that.
Bless.
Because the guy that drives it looks like something out of the CGI Tintin movie. It looks fantastic. It looks very French, basically, which is weird.
Absolutely. What do we got? Adeptus says some backpacks or stowage would look good on the back of the turret where that seam is. Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
What else is
we'll have to. I mean, we'd have to wait and see if you've got any backpacks, Col. Because if you've got some backpacks, like Imperial Guard backpacks or something like that, then we can do that. I've got a load of them, but I don't want to stick something on my tank that you haven't got.
I'll have to have a look in the Greeballs box, to be honest with you, mate, and see what I've got.
I don't think you'd have any, but I can't remember what you get with Baneblade. But I don't want to put anything on mine that you haven't got, because then...
No, mate, it's not a problem.
Also, I have to point this out. I do, in fact, have spurs, and they jingle, jangle, jingle.
Oh, do they?
They do. As I ride right merrily along. I hate that song so much. I didn't like the songs in Fallout New Vegas at all.
Really, bit ropey, were they?
No. Well, they're all like classic period songs, but in Fallout 3, it's all like 1940s and 50s songs, like stuff I really liked.
Yeah.
And some earlier as well. You know, you've got classics like Civilization. You've got things like I forgot the name of it. There's a Bob Crosby song in there. There's some other ones. There's loads of good ones. But then in Fallout New Vegas, they got kind of a bit rock and rolly and a bit 50s.
Oh, right,
and I'm like, it's not as good. And then in Fallout 4, they were even more rock and rolly. I'm like, no, I don't like any of them. Let's Go Sunning was a great song. All the songs in Fallout 3 were brilliant, basically. Anything Goes. I mean, that's obviously 1930s, but 20s. But yeah, so all the songs. But that's the reason I can't play Fallout 3 on a live stream. Is because...
Yeah, because there's a lot of it's copyrighted still, yeah.
Well, it's that, but it's the point that there's no mods for Fallout 3 on console.
Oh,
so
that's annoying.
In Fallout 4, I've got a mod that turns all the radios off.
Yeah.
So you never hear copyright music. But in Fallout 3, there's no such mod on console because you don't do mods, so I can't play Fallout 3.
Oh, Lamekins. Oh,
Fallout 3 is great. Fallout 3 is fantabulosity. Well, it's good. It's all right. It's got yeah. Let's just It's acceptable. It's better than Fallout New Vegas. Right, so that's that bit. I've got him glued on.
That's not
there.
one of your favourites, then? No, I take it.
In Fallout New Vegas, it wasn't as engaging as, to me, it wasn't as interesting or as engaging as Fallout 3. The landscape was too empty. I didn't I didn't advent.
Adeptus Latrina says, Fox, you can turn off the radio completely without a mod in Fallout 3.
Not that I ever noticed. Every radio in the world was on. What I mean is, like, in Fallout 3, if I walk into a room and there's a radio on, it's playing copyright music, I lose monetization. Or I get a copyright strike. So, that's the risk. In Fallout 4, there's actually a mod that can turn all the radios in the entire world off. Any radio that's on gets switched to off. But with Fallout 3, on PC, there's a mod that turns all the radios off. Just removes all the music, or replaces it with silence, but on console there's nothing. I can't risk walking into a room where there's a radio playing. He says, oh, I understand now. Yeah. He thought I meant the Pip-Boy radio, the radio on your thing. No, I can't risk walking into a room. Oh, I need to turn my notifications off, you silly boy. Do. All these things you'll find out, Colin, as you start on your gaming journey.
Absolutely, mate.
You've got so many good games you can play in your future. I'm just so jealous that there's all these games that you've never experienced that you're going to get to experience for the first time. God, I wish. I'm going to have to open the window. I'm going to have to do it. I may knock the camera. Give me a sec.
No worries, mate.
I wish, right? Hang on, I could do this without banging the camera. I'm going to move the camera, one sec. If I could have, I wish. Well, there's a lot of wishes I'd have, but one of them would be that I could wipe my memory of every video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
So that I could play them all again for the first time.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'm just going to adjust my camera.
See, I'm lucky because I've not had to do any of that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like so many games that I love playing, I'll go back and play them again, but you miss that wonderment, that sense of wonderment.
Yeah.
Am I in focus? Let me just quickly double check.
Out of interest, folks, I'll take it audio and videos coming through okay in the chat, if you could let us both know.
Focus. Yes, please do let us know. Take it we're all nicely sounding and looking.
Let's have a looky-loo in chat, what's been going on.
Fox says it's not right, you can get copyrighted for that. It's how copyright works. If you have any copyright music or content in your videos, then you have to pay the people that own the copyright. That's why people that do a YouTube video with a telly on in the background wonder why they suddenly get a copyright strike, or they get a thing saying you've got to share monetization. That's why you never do a video with a radio or a telly on in the background. And you have to know exactly where your music comes from if you're going to put music in a video.
What have we got? In answer to the question about me builds, Muse says yes, she would buy one.
Yeah.
Andy McLeish says yeah. He says a lot of us would.
Yeah, I'd buy one.
Lynn Dipple says she'd buy my Insane Blade with Raggy.
Oh, God, yeah.
And also she'd buy all of my goodness. Oh, bless. Adeptus is saying the GSXR Suzuki's tickling all his fantasies.
You said that one. I think you did that one, didn't you?
I probably did, mate.
I've got a gap there.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, that's nice to hear. Thank you very much for your interest. It's just one of those things, though, isn't it? Because we all sit there, don't we, and we think, oh, no one would possibly be interested, but, yeah.
Yeah. I'll beat it into you yet that people would buy it. Because you have to remember, there's a lot of people out there who don't even know which end of a paintbrush to use.
Yeah, I suppose so.
There's a lot of people who don't have the wherewithal to do their own painting and building and stuff. So, and they'll be more than happy, and they'll look at your work and they'll see that it's good, and they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. But have more faith in your work. I've got a big gap on my turret there.
Yeah, there are some gaps in these, isn't there? Yeah, it's like this Gatling gun is a bit
gappy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could fill it with some sprue goo, but I don't mind having a gap down there where the bottom panel mixes, because that looks like it's part of the actual welded.
You're off shot, mate.
Oh, sorry, am I? There's a bit there. There's a gap here.
Yeah, I just filled mine with putty.
Yeah. See, I don't mind having the gap at the front because it looks like a panel line, but I'll have to get some sprue goo in that, I guess.
Yeah, I just filled it. I thought, nah, I can't live with it.
Yes, but then I'll have to get rid of the gap round the other side as well. I'll get some sprue goo in there. We'll clean that up. In fact, I will do that now. Can I do it now? Do I need to do anything else under there? I shall do it now.
Yeah, I just done mine and thought, well, it gives it plenty of time to dry.
I shall bleb a little bit of sprue goo in there. Gap in the Gatling gun.
There are some Gatling gun, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Andy says, gap in the Gatling gun, I'll get my coat.
Yeah, I would consider you in urgent need of that coat, Andy.
Lynn Dipple says it's 10:31 a.m. and 88 Fahrenheit, 31 degrees centigrade. It's hot.
Wow.
I just weeded my rose that looks like it's not going to make it, but I also walked in and took the trash to the bin.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we had a nice storm during the night, so it cleared it up a bit, but it's still a bit muggy.
Maggie. Is that like raggy?
Muggy, isn't it? Yeah, muggy.
Is that like raggy?
Yeah, see, this is it. I can't put any raggy on this one.
No.
But what I can do is I can do the usual donation of a bit of raggy inside. So.
Well, you could put raggy on it. I just couldn't show you what to do with it. You'd have to improvise that bit. Because you're going to have to figure out what to do with raggy yourself anyway, because I can never put raggy on anything, so I can never show you how to paint that.
No, that's right.
That is something you have to figure out yourself.
I can do my donation of a bit of raggy. I'll grab a bit in a minute whilst it's on my mind, because, actually, I'll do it now.
Oh, wow. Somehow my sprue goo is exactly almost the same colour as Games Workshop grey plastic. I'm quite handy.
It's not made of Games Workshop grey plastic, is it?
Well, the last time I used it, it was blue, so I don't know what I've put in it. I must have put some GW plastic in there or something. I had no memory of that. There you go. That's very messily filled. But we'll replace that. We'll file that back later. For that, if you don't know what sprue goo is, by the way, folks, if you can't be bothered faffing around with fillers because they're a pain in the bum, sprue goo is just a pot of Tamiya extra thin with a whole mess of spare bits of sprue dumped in it. I mean, a significant amount of spare bits of sprue dumped in it till it's thick and gloopy like that. So it barely drops off the end of the brush. And the idea is that when you put that onto a model, the glue evaporates away and all you're left with is polystyrene from sprues and bits of plastic card. You have to use polystyrene. So when I filled that now with a bit of sprue goo there, when the glue dries away and evaporates off, flashes off, that'll just be polystyrene filling a gap. So when I sand it, it'll behave just like it's part of the actual model kit. It's absolutely the best filler you can ever use, because it's the most sculptable and sandable filler, because it's literally polystyrene.
Absolutely.
It's not
one suitable donation of raggy.
Oh, hang on, let me put you full screen. This is a moment of... That's a very big bit. You want to maybe do a smaller bit than that. It's a lot of raggy to sacrifice.
Actually, yeah.
That's a lot of raggy.
It's that crusty that you use nippers to cut it.
You know what I didn't do? I didn't write a message inside it anywhere.
There you go, folks. That has now got its sacrificial bit of raggy.
I forgot to put a secret inside mine. I was going to put something secret on a bit of paper inside the box on the back.
Yeah, but you can write a note, can't you, and just tuck the note in the base of the tank.
No, because then it's easily removed, you see. When I do little secret notes, they're in places that are never going to be found. Like if I put one inside that. Or those two Bane blades I sold, they actually contain secret notes.
Yeah.
Little bits of post-it note with stuff written on it and folded in. But they'll never be found because you'd have to break it open in certain places to actually get to them. So, failing a disaster, those notes will never see the light of day. No one apart from me, I'll be the only human being that ever sees what's written on them. Ever. Ever. Ever.
Didn't you do the Millennium Falcon with the cock and balls?
Yes, my friend at the time drew a cock and balls inside the Millennium Falcon, which was hilarious, which I didn't want him to do because it was a commission. And you could actually see it before you put the cockpit on.
Yeah.
So hopefully the gentleman that bought it never actually noticed. Yes, I wasn't impressed with that. I always sign my models or put something inside them.
Yeah.
I'll find somewhere secret to put something on this one. Right, so I've got sprue glue on my turret. I've not put the spotlight on yet, but I shall assemble the spotlight. Where are you up to?
Just putting a bit of sprue glue on the Gatling gun.
Ooh.
Because there's horrible, what's his name, seams.
Is it too big for the glue squish?
Yeah.
Arse. Arse, I say. Arse,
massively
I say.
too big.
I'll find out now because I'm about to start making mine. Arse, I say. Thrice arse.
Jeff at Candygram Vermongo says Raggy is a legend.
The leg end, that is. Regularity.
Well, I made a sail, didn't I, for the Insane Blade, and the Raggy was that solid that the sail kept its shape.
Yeah. I mean, the beauty of it is with Raggy, you don't need to paint Raggy. You could paint a symbol on it or something in a slightly thin, slightly transparent colour of paint.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that scuzzy. But yeah, for those who don't know what I mean, I'll show you the Insane Blade on the shelf with Raggy.
Just my camera. Let me full screen you. Let me full screen you.
Said Insane Blade with Raggy. And as you can see,
rock solid.
It's rock solid. So yeah, that is the Insane Blade. Dun, 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 soon to be painted.
I will pay you. I will still say I will pay you to make me at some point an Insane Blade.
I'll build you one, you know I would.
Yeah. Thank God you got a t-shirt on. I'm just going to adjust my focus, so let me just go full screen a sec.
Yes, folks, yeah, no moves today.
Yeah, so I will pay you to make me a ridiculous Insane Blade like that I can then paint.
You're welcome, mate. I will build you one. You know that. I've said that all along, mate. You want one, I'll build you one.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I just need to actually have some money first. That's the sticking point.
Yeah, that's normally what stops both of us from carrying on.
Yeah. Right, I need that bit and that bit. So that bit's that bit. At least in this kit, they haven't numbered stuff in the instructions, but they've had the sense not to number stuff on the sprue either.
Yeah.
Bloody stomper. Bane of my existence. It's not really, I love it. Two halves of the gun, bit on the end, that bit and the other bit. There we go.
But no, when things get sorted out, mate, I'll build you one, you know that, mate.
Yay.
You've said all along that you've been desperate to have one.
Yeah. I want to paint that one, but I'm not going to because that's yours and you've got to paint that. I need to watch you paint that. I need to watch you go through that moment of, oh Christ, why did I start doing this?
Yeah, that's kind of what's prevented me from starting it. I'm like, what have I gone and done to myself? Because
that's the kind of model that even though I really want to paint it, and even though I'd absolutely enjoy every single minute of it, and it would be an absolute blast because it's just so dumb. At the same time, my camera's in, I shouldn't have moved my camera. I'm such a spoon. Right, there, that's where the camera is. Look, there you go, see? Right. God damn it. Even all that said, there would be points where I'd be sat there going, oh Christ, why did I even start?
Yeah.
How much more is to cut? Once I'm painting my 32-second sponsor, I'd be like, oh.
Well, I've got to that point with it where I've had it stripped down into its components more than once.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to make a start today, and then it's like,
Where?
Where?
I don't understand any of it, and I made it.
Yeah. Every now and then it's like, tilt.
Blue screen of death. Am I in focus, chaps and chapesses? Do let me know, because as you know, I move the camera. So,
well, I've now said that I intend to start it at the end of the summer. It's going to be my winter painting project.
Yeah,
so.
It's too warm in the time of the year at the minute.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that over the winter months, folks. That will be regularly filmed throughout the winter.
I think it's very brave of you to try. Well, I would say it's very good of you to not put a specific year on that, because like, as in, I'm going to film it over the winter of this year rather than I'm going to film it over the winter of the next 5 years.
Yeah,
because that would be a bit optimistic. I'm going to film it this winter. No, lots of winters.
Yeah.
I've got spurs, they jingle, jangle, jingle.
Yeah, I should have stated, I'll start filming in it this winter. Yeah.
Start painting
Yeah. It's, I'm looking forward to it because I'm glad I put it to one side, you know, because it was all right building it and all of that, but I wanted to pick up different skills before I took the paintbrush to it because it's such a one-off thing. You don't want to ruin it. You don't want to balls it up.
It's the kind of model that you can understand why Steve B actually builds and doesn't paint.
Yes.
Because it was so much fun for you to build it. It's almost like painting. It's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to build it. It's almost like building it was the entire point.
Yeah. Totally understand that.
So you can see, it makes you realise why Steve loves doing his like scratch builds that then he just doesn't paint.
Absolutely. Totally get that.
You can see why his fun is in the building part.
I mean, it's been sat there in that base yellow colour for a year, is it?
Yeah,
nearly?
Something like that. Since the beginning of time.
But I think it was the right thing to do. It's just like, I'm just looking at it now and I'm like, there's a big bag of stuff behind it that's got to be painted that go on it as well. And I'm like,
You're like, no.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. Why have I done this to myself?
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine if you built me an insane blade, I know I would be like 3 days into paint chipping, I'd be like, oh God.
Yeah.
But I'd just carry on doing it. I mean, it's bad enough trying to paint them with a one Bane blade. You get to that point in one Bane blade.
It's one of those where it's got to be zoned.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to sort of do like, front near side corner, rear near side corner, and that's pretty much break it into manageable sections. Otherwise,
your challenge then, of course, is to make sure everything's consistent. Because if you do one bit like one and then another bit 3 months later, it's like
exactly.
So that's the challenge. You see, I think the only way to do it, for me personally, will be to just shut the hell up, bite the bullet, and just do it.
Yeah,
and just do it. Because if I broke up into bits, I'd end up with like different textures and colours and everything. I'd be like, oh. I think you just have to. I just have to suck it up and do it.
He says that now. You wait till he's got his. I'm going to hold him to that.
It's like, I don't want 36 sponsons. Oh Christ, it's all sponsons.
Yeah, it'll be. You didn't want all them sponsons and extra guns. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what the downside to that is? There's a reason you might not do that, and that is because you'd have to actually make all those sponsons. And you know what? That's the worst bit of a Bane blade, is making the sponsons.
Yeah.
There is that. You might end up hoist by your own petard.
Yeah, I've forgotten how much fun they were to make. Yeah. I was just at that thing of there's a space there, it needs a gun or a turret, and it got it.
See, the thing with the sponsons on the Bane blade, if you've never made a Bane blade, by the way, folks, then this is all to come. We do recommend it, it's great fun. But the thing with the sponson is, the sponsons they're basically these kind of things that stick on the side, but they're bigger on a Bane blade. And they have like a turret on top and a turret built in. And it's basically like a tank that big. Okay? So the thing with the sponsons is they're not hard to build. They look great, but there's so much detail on them that you're basically painting a tank. Like, you can spend an hour just chipping each sponson. And so when you realise you've got like 4 or 6 of those to do, you're like, oh. Whenever you build any model, for me, whenever I build any model, the one thing I dread in model is repetition of parts. Like, if you've got maybe 2 of something, like on these tanks, you've got 2 sponsons, so that's not so bad. 2 track units. But when you've got like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of something, and it's like it's a complex thing to paint in and of itself, that's when you start to get what gunpla builders would call weapon fatigue.
See, now I know why he was so keen when I was building it. Carl, what? Get some more sponsons, you know you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's just the way I work, is like, I adore the painting process and weathering, but when I've done the same thing 4 or 5 times in the same build,
yeah,
the most like, enthused of painters will get, like I say, what Gunpla builders call weapon fatigue.
Yeah.
Like if anybody out there has built the full armor Unicorn Gundam, you build the Unicorn Gundam, which is beautiful. It's a great build. If you're painting it, or even if you're building it, you build the Unicorn Gundam, brilliant. But then you have to build all the weapons, and there's all the weapons, all of them, and you get really, especially with painting, you get really bored. I burnt out. I never finished mine. I gave it away. But yeah, you do. When there's lots of repetition of stuff, you don't really want to paint the same thing over and over and over again in the same build. Like, I'll happily make lots of Bane blades over the years. I don't mind making a Bane blade and then another one a few months later, that's fine, but building
I plan on doing more. Like I say, it's I mean, I would have to, if I got more Bane blades, I would have to build them to sell them because I've got nowhere to store them otherwise.
Oh no, the only reason I'm going to build Bane blades now is to sell them, build to sell.
But,
that's the tricky thing, you see. They do sell, so really, Bane blades will be a build to sell thing for me.
Darren Edmonds says, "How many crew members does your insane blade need?"
All of them.
There's about 15 dudes that are there or thereabouts climbing around all over it.
It needs all of them.
Bearing in mind there's rope bridges, sails, there's little grots hanging from the rope bridge, and
it needs all of them.
And that's the thing, I've got to paint all the dudes. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, you've basically got an entire box set of Gorks in just that one kit.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a Warhammer army on tracks.
It's like a battle force.
Max McGinn, bless him, but it's even offered to work out how many points it would be worth.
Oh, you should definitely do that.
So, I said, well, yeah. He said, just take loads of video and photographs. I said, I'll put it in a box and ship it to you. You can work it out in front of you. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to do.
Colin, very important question.
Yes.
Do you have spurs?
Spurs?
Do you have spurs?
Do
you have spurs?
No.
So they don't jingle?
No.
Oh, never mind. Just asking. Just checking. Because I've got spurs and they jingle.
What have I let myself up for here?
Nothing.
Muse says it's going to take a year to paint it. It is Muse, isn't it?
That'd be fun though.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it?
There'll be lots of breaks taken, I think, and pauses, but that's the point. You know, you've got to...
Well, when I built it, I always had this thing of I shall do it in the background as a background paint job whilst I'm building other things.
Oh God, that'll take you decades.
Yeah, you know what I mean, because not every day you're going to want to paint the insane blade, you know, and it's such a big project.
You're a big project.
And I thought, well, I know that. It'll keep me interested as well, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to get insane blade fatigue because
you will
it's going to spoil the project.
You will whatever you do. I mean, the thing to say on that is you will whatever you do because it's such a big build. There's no way you're not going to get... It's like somebody making individual link tracks. They're going to get track fatigue, whether they're even if like making tanks is their absolute passion. So you're going to get it, but it's just a case of seeing it and saying, right, I'll just step away for a bit. I'll
absolutely
take a day off, take a week off.
Yeah.
Step away from the model kit.
This is why I always like to have more than one build on the go, because if you're fatigued on one, you can always do something on another. You know. But,
well, that's where like Gunpla can come in handy because Gunpla you can just build them out of the box with you don't even have to glue them together. So if you're doing, say, something complicated and you just want I just want to take a break for a week, take a break for a few days.
Buster. Yeah,
get yourself some kind of Gunpla master grade kit and just slowly build it.
Yeah.
Just build it without even painting it. Just build it for the fun of it. Because the beauty...
This is it. I mean, I've got that Kshatriya that's sat there, you know. It's like I must get round to doing some more work on it. I want to get the bike built for Wendy, get that done and filmed, because I've been promising her for ages that I'd get that sorted. So...
Well, that's the other thing as well. If you think about it, you've got a big complicated build. You get fatigue halfway through. You say, right, I'm going to stop for a few days, put it to one side, get yourself some kind of master grade gunpla or something, really perfect grade. Build it, assemble it for a few days. You've had a nice relaxing build because there's no painting. Put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Go back to your other project, and then a year later, you can take that gunpla apart and paint it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got a Giara Doga that I need to build actually at some point, and my Kashatra and other things. So I do wish they did a master grade of the Giara Zulu though. The Giara Zulu is like the space Nazi Gundam. It just looks like a futuristic space Nazi. They do the Giara Doga, which I've got, but I really wish they did the Giara Zulu. It's a really nice looking mobile suit. But it's only an HG. I've not got any big gaps on this Gatling, you know. Mine's all come together all right.
Yeah, mine had a gap at the bottom section.
Oh, did it?
It looked like it was a bit of a... what's the word? You know where the keyhole bit is, where your 6-shooter goes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've not tried that bit yet. Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, it basically one side was perfectly semicircular and the other one had a big chunk missing out of it.
Oh, you mean where the barrel tips go?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not brilliant.
Yeah, it was a bit clungy.
I might have to... I think mine might be all right with a bit of... See, I don't mind having... Actually, mine's got a little tiny gap on it, but I think that looks fine because it's probably meant to have a little gap, I think, in my mind.
Yeah.
So I might leave mine off till I've glued it, I've cleaned everything else up. And if it's a bit bad, I might put some plastic card around it. But if not...
Yeah, I was thinking of it.
Like a shroud, a piece of shroud that goes over, that extends further than the barrels, like a flash hider.
Yeah, I still think I've got something in the Greebles box that could lend itself to it, but it's gone in now. So
yeah, done. I mean, the actual gun assembly itself and the shroud that goes around the end, it's gone together quite. I've squished it with glue, so I'll have to clean that up in a bit.
Yeah, I just put a bit of sprue glue in the end there.
Sprue glue.
It's done the job.
I've got some sprue glue on my turret. I need to assemble... What's next? So I've done that. I've not glued it onto the turret yet. I've got to do the back piece. Ooh, look at my back piece. What an impressive back piece, Mr. Wolf. Aye, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Aye, get your back piece here. Get your back piece here. For £8 for a pound.
Is your right little back piece? Have a quick look at chat. There
you go.
Oh, we've not asked the question.
What's in the belly? What's on the bench? Mm-hmm. What is your beverage of choice?
Yes, you know it. What are you working on?
We've asked the question now.
What's your dinner for tonight, or what have you had for your dinner, and what are you drinking? Right now, I'm on water. I'm trying to cut back on caffeine, so I only had 1 cup of tea today. Dinner later on would be, again, I've been trying for about 2 weeks, but I'm going to try again for chicken Kievs and Fox's mess. Every day I say that, and by the time it comes to like dinner time, we end up getting a takeout because I'm knackered. What about you, buddy?
I have had beef pot noodles so far.
Ooh.
I've got a cup of tea and my orange. I've got a Jaffa cake bar.
Oh, Jaffa cake bar.
And a raspberry breakfast bar.
Ooh. See, I'll tell you what. I know I don't like the beef pot noodles, but I still have to give you half points for the fact it's a pot noodle. So you still get half respect for the fact it is actually a pot noodle.
Ah, cheers, mate.
Yeah, you're still a heathen, but you know, hey, you're only half a heathen.
Hey, mate, I don't mind being a heathen.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll accept that all day long.
Good lad. Let's have a look. So the reason I asked that was because Paul Lewis has put his in. Belly, roast beef dinner later, bench working on MFH 112 Ferrari 512S Le Mans while I'm waiting for material to arrive for Warhammer Archeopt Wings. Beverage, water disturbingly. Box Fox Scoot says, hey Fox, Colin, either of you know how to make a moon or ashy base? Yes. Here's how one way you could do it. If you want it to look... Okay, how would you going to do this? One way you could do it is to use... You want to get... I'll ask you first, Col. Why don't you go first? I'm always answering this question.
What is it? What was he on about? As in the moon?
Yeah, I guess he means like a dusty, ashy, kind of... Like a... It looks like...
Do you know something? I'm quite old school. use real ash. If you've had a barbecue and there's a load of, ash and barbecue briquettes and that, and you've got a big pile of it, use that and sprinkle it over a base,
Yeah, if you could do that. That's a good idea, actually.
It may sound daft, but you can go down your local petrol station, get one of these foil-based barbecue kits, sit and light it up in the garden and just leave it to do its thing, and you're going to end up with a big pot of ash, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Done.
Yeah, and it will look quite ashy. You don't have to paint it necessarily. You could use something like, if you just want to use like a texture paint, you could use Astrogranite, which is one of the Games Workshop ones, but it just gives you like a rough concretey effect. But you can dry brush it with grey colours.
Yeah.
You could, if you want to. It depends on the scale of the model, of course. If you're building like the 140, if you're building the 48 scale legal transporter that's like 3 foot long, then you could do something like, you could quite simply build the landscape. Here's one thing for you: build the landscape, then cover it in white glue. And then sprinkle it with, say, something like baking soda.
Yeah, anything like that.
Or even diorama snow powder, but quite coarse snow powder.
Yeah, another good one to use is you can buy the big bags of grout. The different granule size of grout, Yep. Grout. Grout. And, you got your different granule sizes of that. You can sprinkle that. You can use that. Yeah. Cat litter is another one, the granules.
Yeah, because you'll have, if you do like a moon base, something, you'll have some rocks and things also, little bits of pebbles, cat litter. Anything that looks, you can mix and match anything that's powdery, little bits of pebbles and things like that.
Yeah.
The tricky is the powdery effect. Obviously, you can't do anything that's just going to be powder, because every time you look at it and move it, all the powder will come off. One thing that's often been used a lot for powdery effects and dusty earth, and one thing that was actually used on Space 1999 as moon dust, is Fuller's Earth.
Yeah, Fuller's Earth, yeah.
Yeah, you just put some PVA glue down, sprinkle that on, and it sticks. And then when it's all dried, same if you use baking powder or any kind of powdery stuff, when it's all dried and stuck in the glue, you can then spray over it with a varnish. Or you
can on powder. Yeah,
you can lock it in place with. You can use PVA glue, white Elmer's glue, thin down with water and with a little tiny bit of dish soap in there just to break the surface tension, and spray that over. That'll lock it in, and then you can paint over it. But yeah, Fuller's Earth has been used for a long time, but it is a little bit toxic. So just wear a mask when you put it on.
Yeah. Frankie goes to Obbywood's Belly and Bench. He had strawberry cheesecake, and for lunch, homemade fish cakes with lemon butter and salad. Beverage, ice cold Coke, because his temperature is 34 degrees over in Germany. There you
go. Adeptus Latrina Bench Mark 12 model.
Yeah.
What's a Mark 12? Mark 12 Model 0. I don't know what. You may need to explain that one. Belly, 2 bacon and egg cheese McGriddles, 2 hash browns, and OJ. Ooh.
Nice.
We're up to
Boxfort Scoop says that's smart, meaning the suggestions of barbecue ash and things like that. So
I mean, anything you can use. Like when I did my diorama free models of the little AML 90 personnel carrier, I want to suggest like a hilly landscape. I had a little landscape where it was like bits of grass and then like just a little 5 or 6 foot tall just soil drop, and then just dirt and soil, like just churned up ground. So I literally dug up some soil from the garden, baked it in the oven for 2 hours at 180 degrees to kill everything, and then just sprinkled that on.
That's the job.
You can literally use soil. And I'll tell you what, when you bake garden soil at 180 degrees for 2 hours, it smells beautiful. It really smells like bread. It smells like bread. But yeah, whatever you're using, as long as you spread in some PVA glue, build your surface up first with foam, or a lot of people will use like foam blocks to make the shapes, and then like Colin, like use some grout to sculpt it in, or anything that you can use to sculpt the shapes. Then you cover it in PVA, sprinkle whatever you want on the top, and just make sure to lock it in later with another layer of something. If you're putting pebbles and stones on, you can glue them on with super glue.
Yeah.
If it's a particularly big piece of wood or something on a base, you can drill some holes in it and drill holes in your base, and you can wire it into place, pin it into place. Just have a look round, and there'll be loads of YouTube tutorials on dioramas and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a look on my channel for the Imperial Skitter build, just do a search for the word skitter, Skitter. There's a whole episode on that, I think, about how I did the diorama using real soil and bits of garden, the oasis foam and stuff like that. All the techniques in there will be absolutely valid, whatever surface you put on, whether it's soil or something else. So go and have a look at that as well. But yeah, apparently Fuller's Earth is quite good for that kind of stuff. It's what they used to use in Space 1999.
Absolutely.
Where are we up to? These just a lot
Also
of it.
works a treat on winter dioramas, Fuller's Earth.
I've never tried Fuller's Earth. I have not seen the film. Hello, Mama Fox. I have not seen the film, says Darren Edmonds. But there is a film where big cities go around on tracks fighting each other. It reminds me of Insane Blade. Oh, that's a weird dream I had. No, there is a film where there's like all the different cities of the world are like big mobile things. Apparently it's not very good.
Yeah.
It's like a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah, that Insane Blade is, many a sleepless night.
It's kind of what you call a land ship, but then some.
Yeah.
Muse says, just ate honey dipped donut and there's coffee and assembling the ATST.
Oh, nice.
Darren says, belly oven barbecue because it's raining. Bench just made some new seats for my Ural sidecar. Beverage, Hobgoblin IPA. Ooh, yeah, good beer.
Nice.
Lynn says, belly will be turkey sandwich, tortilla chips with salsa, water or Dr. Pepper. It's going to be Dr. Pepper. Don't even bother saying water. We know it's going to be Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Bench, Lego, lots of built Lego. Dave's in, Model Maker Dave's workshop. Welcome, Dave. Hello.
Ah, Dave.
Hello, Dave. He says, belly will be chicken nuggets and chips. He may have bought some chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets and chips, beans with plum tomatoes, beverage, the naffy style. Tea, the naffy style.
Bird's eye ones, Dave.
Dave, why don't you do what I suggested in the chat on the video? Get yourself chicken nuggets, right? Get them cooked. But then get yourself some rice and other stuff you can put in, like some onions, some tomatoes, some chopped up peppers, anything else, mushrooms, stuff you can dump in there. And get a jar of whatever cooking sauce you want, or just make a sauce or how you want to do it, and just put the chicken nuggets, chop them up into little bits and add them to it.
Own pride cooking sauce, do you remember them?
Own pride cooking sauce. But then you're not having to just eat the chicken nuggets and go, oh, the chicken nuggets. You can chop them up and add them in. When I do Mama Fox's chicken Kievs later on, I'm making a Fox's mess, which will be potatoes, cabbage, onions, and some other bits and bobs, and a sauce of some sort, usually just a lot of mayonnaise and butter and other things. And then I'll get the chicken Kievs and chop them into bits and mix it all up. There you go. Makes those horrible cardboard chicken nuggets even tastier.
Boxfart Scout says, I am not a boomer. What's Space 1999?
Well.
Wow.
Let me sing you the song of my people. Now, Space 1999 was a sci-fi series in the mid 70s, where season 1 was brilliant and season 2 was garbage. You don't watch season 2. And it was a Jerry Anderson show. It was Jerry Anderson's second ever actual live action show. Jerry Anderson, the guy that did Thunderbirds and Fireball XL5 and stuff, he did a live action show called UFO, but then after that he did one called Space 1999. You'll probably recognise the Eagle transporter ships because they're kind of iconic, even if you'd never seen it. It's very, very cheesy. It's very 1970s. Everybody wears flares, but it's also an iconic sci-fi series. You kind of have to watch it, but only season 1. It's also got one of the best theme tunes ever, and it's just really good. It is really good. The monsters of the week are terrible. The effects were pretty good for their time. They were pretty darn
grab
good for
the
their time.
side of the table and move side to side. That way it looks like you're being shaken around. It's like,
But it was the days where they wanted to have an Eagle transporter landing on the moon's surface, so they'd have a can of compressed gas inside the model and little nozzles, and then when they lowered it on wires towards the surface, they press a button, and the gas will be expelled from the rocket nozzles and blow the Fuller's Earth on the diorama, and it looks brilliant. It looks absolutely brilliant. Jerry Anderson was a master.
Though, didn't it?
Yeah, Jerry Anderson was a master, but the Eagle Transporter, you'll recognise the Eagle Transporter. Go and watch season 1 of Space 1999. Trust your Uncle Fox. Season 2, don't bother. But season 1, just keep in mind it came out before Star Wars.
Yeah. Blimey, yeah,
Just
that's
before,
a thought.
It was pre-Star Wars.
Yeah.
And yet, it was just really well done. It was very good. And it's kind of... You kind of have to watch it with an open mind, because it's not aged... In some ways, it's aged really well. Like, you could still potentially get away with the effects nowadays. Like, you know, the spaceship effects, sort of. They kind of stand up a little bit. But yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah, it's of its time, isn't it?
Andy McLeish says, don't trust your Uncle Fox. The last time that happened, someone had 7 tears stuck in the head. That was not me. That was Festa. That was him. That was that one there.
Absolutely.
It weren't me. I had nothing
Guilty as
to do with
charged.
that. He sent me that link as well, don't forget.
Yeah, you all clicked it, though.
Darren Edmonds says, what do you mean, what's Space 1999? That's blasphemy.
Yeah.
Andy McLeish says, Naffy tea, also called a tea bag huddled in hot water. Anything but Terrorhawks. Yeah, Terrorhawks was garbage. Don't watch Terrorhawks. Lynn Dipple says, go find Fox's Eagle Transporter build on his channel or e-models.
Absolutely.
And Andy McLeish says, I'm ultimately responsible because it's my show. Damn it.
Well said, Andy.
Wait, hang on. Wait. Was it not on a Friday Frolic?
What's that?
When you mentioned it. Was it not a Friday Frolic when you mentioned that?
Oh, mate, that would be an ecumenical matter.
I can't remember. I think it might have been a Friday Frolic, which is not my show.
I can't honestly say that I remember, mate. Yeah, if you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll recognise the Eagle Transporter box, Fox. Because it is basically the best sci-fi spaceship ever designed ever. And I'll hear no arguments about it.
Okay, so we got Greebles then. All of that's Greebles.
I don't even know where you could watch the first season of Space 1999 now. I don't think it's on Amazon Prime or anything like that. I found it on a how can I put this? Unofficial streaming site, let's just say. I found it somewhere that I could stream it, you know. But you know what I mean? I think it was Dailymotion or something, but it's not very good quality. I don't even know where you can watch it nowadays.
Cody.
He's in the US.
Yeah, Kodi will work. It's global.
Is it? Ah.
Yeah. Kodi's a file streaming piece of software.
Ah.
You can run it on PC or you can have a Kodi box, and it basically lets you stream content that people have uploaded and shared.
Is it legal or illegal? Was it grey?
It's a very grey area that I'm not condoning and I'm not condemning.
Yes. We here at Guru Towers neither condone nor anything like that.
Yeah,
but,
we all know what we're on about.
Yeah. We just have to make the legal statement that we don't endorse any kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey.
Yeah, we're not encouraging people to go out and do it, should we say?
Yeah. We just have to make the disclaimer there. The CYA
Absolutely.
disclaimer.
We certainly have to, mate.
Here at Model Making Guru, we do not endorse dropping pianos on people or painting fake tunnels on rock cliff faces. However, should you do that?
We don't encourage you to go and download Seven Tears by the Goombay Dance Band. It's your choice.
Yeah. We're up to... It was on here, I remember it well, says Darren. God damn it, they're all teaming up against me. That
was Foxy's fault then.
Still not my fault. I didn't make the words come out of my mouth. I didn't know what it was, so how can I couldn't shut him down if I didn't know what it was.
You encouraged me.
I did nothing of the sort. Don't even begin to start with that nonsense.
Straws and clutching.
Don't even try, young lady.
Trust your Uncle Festa, folks.
Hang on a minute, Have we got... That's weird. Have I missed something somewhere?
Pass.
When we build the turret,
Yeah.
if you look at the instructions, step 8A,
Yeah.
look at the back of the turret. It's got the eagle on it. I don't have the eagle on the back of my turret. I'd never noticed. Is that a separate piece? I know we've got the eagle on the bit that we're going to add on the back anyway, but I've just...
Aye, let's have a look.
Where you add the dude into the turret.
Oh yeah, that eagle was underneath the bit. No,
that's the one you get in the standard Leman Russ kit. They've got the wrong thing in the instructions.
Yeah, they got the wrong turret in the instructions there, mate.
Yeah. Because I was about to say, hang on, we're covering up an eagle. Oh no, we're not. Oh yeah, I see what you mean about the dirty great big line there.
Yeah, it's gashing it, mate.
Could get away with a panel line, but it'd be more fun to put some... I'm going to put some panels on that, and I'll put some bits on the back.
Yeah, I'm going to raid my Greebles box and have a looky-loo as to what delights are in there. I'm just de-spruing everything that's left.
Yeah. Because
that's all getting added to the Greebles box as well. So.
Well, I know what I did on my last one was I took a piece from my bits box, which was, I think, like a power unit with some cables coming out of it.
Yeah.
And I just stuck it on there so it looks like a bit of Greeble of some sort.
So that means...
And some plastic card as well.
Said Leman Russ box is now empty.
Ooh. I've got to glue that bit on the back. Hang on, what am I up to?
So they're handles. We're going to be using them.
Your smoke launchers.
We got that. We got that. We got a bracket for the thing. We got smoke launchers.
Yep.
And all of that lot is Greebles. Yeah, spotlight. I've got that and the lens.
Yep. You're a lens.
All of that lot is Greebles. I'm happy to be a lens. All of that lot's going on the stomper.
Oh yeah.
See, this is how I work, folks. I don't have Greebles as such. That'll all be used on the stomper.
Yeah, because don't forget, the stomper's already got like an Imperial tank hatch on it.
Absolutely.
So you can put more tank bits on it.
The Greebles box. The Greebles box is now in range.
I am going to have to go under my bench though and get my Greebles out, if you pardon the expression. If I get to that point in this show.
I have an entire Baneblade box full up with Warhammer Greebles now.
I've got a night box full of night bits. I've got a bag of tank bits and all kinds of stuff sitting around. You do. That's the one.
Scary.
That's the one good thing about, well, the beauty of Games Workshop stuff. You end up with so much stuff you can use as Greebles. But because you get so many spare parts, you can go on eBay and actually buy bags of Greebles. People just sell bags of tank bits or people bits. Or,
mad, isn't it?
It's great.
So all of that lot is stomper bits.
I really don't think you can go onto any other genre of kit and just buy bags of Greebles, because everybody gets so many tank bits and stuff left over. Stick them on in there. Sell them.
I've got a lot of arms and stuff like that, and axes and
You need arms.
Bit of armless fun. See what I did? I won't do it again.
Here all week trying to fish.
I'll be here all week. I'll be here all week.
He's a good lad. Give him a round of applause. He's a good lad. Live from Bolton.
Yeah.
Coming straight from Bolton.
So we got gunnage. Oh.
Those other arms are always handy in case you get an orc and you want to kind of modify them to do something else. But
see, I've got spare oil drums from old Bane blades and all sorts.
See, all kinds of goodness.
Yeah, but they're going to stick out like a blind cobbler's thumb on the arse of that. So.
What, on the arse of the tank?
Oh,
no, they won't.
I'll tell you what I have got. Oh, I don't.
What is it? Let me put you full screen because I can't see.
Got some Wazbomb exhaust bits and. I need to be careful
because you paint them the same colour as the exhaust already on it, so you can get away.
Yeah, I might use those ones because they're a bit smaller. I've got a set of them, the little short stumpy ones.
Yeah, it's all valid. Because, like I say, you've already got exhaust on there, so you can paint them exactly the same.
Exactly. I don't want to go mad with it, though. You know what I mean? It's.
You will. You will.
Yeah, they won't work. Don't like that.
Let me crack on.
You should crack.
Hopefully, before the end of today, we can both get. At least I can. Well, I'm sure you'll have already added loads of stuff, but I want to get to at least the point of going through my bits box.
Yeah, I'm just having a rummage. I'm going to have a rummage of me bits.
I don't think I'm going to put the smoke launchers on yet because I'm not fully decided what I want to put on top of my sponsons.
No, I've deliberately not bunged them on yet because of the same similar reason.
Yeah, you might end up putting them somewhere else. Because they tend to go on the side of turret smoke launchers, so...
Yeah, that's dudes.
That might look quite good. Put my
That's geezers.
You need dudes there.
So it's pretty much what's in that bag then.
Well, I think I've built the gun. I've got to build the spotlight and the hatch, and I think that's cleaning up the couple of bits, and that's it then. I think I'm in the same position. I'm not cleaning up my gun yet. Not cleaned up my Gatling gun. Let me get the spotlight bits on.
That was...
Spotlight!
Yeah, I've got to clean my handles up.
Word of caution with those handles.
Yeah.
Be very gentle with them. They tend to break in half when you clean them quite easily.
Yeah, they're a bit grunge, aren't they?
They're just a bit delicate.
Yeah. In other words, he says, you great big clumsy galoot, don't go breaking them.
Don't go breaking my handles.
Full candles.
You see what I did there? Do you see what I did there?
I did.
It doesn't really work because handles doesn't rhyme with heart. It's not really that funny, really.
Yeah, but you tried. I'll give you that.
I'm a trier.
Yeah, how many sets of these Warhammer decals do we end up with? Shed loads.
Oh, billions. Billions and billions.
Loads and loads and loads.
I'm going to be lazy on this build. Shock horror.
You lazy on a build,
well,
shot.
In the past, I've drilled a hole in the side of the turret, and I've mounted the spotlight like that on the side into the hole.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I think I'm just going to use the actual brace that comes with it.
Yeah, there's a bracket thing, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the bit that's supposed to go on the side of the cupola, but I think I'm just going to use, rather than drill a hole and jam it in, which I've done before, I think I might just use the existing brace for it, bracket. And it's a bit lazy, but...
Nothing wrong with that. Lazy works.
It looks good. And of course, we do have the option then of perhaps...
You are talking to the two blokes who put loads of strips of plastic card around their model.
Yeah, that's true. See, I am thinking whether it'd be feasible to get some easy line.
Yeah.
To be like a wire hanging out the back of the lamp that goes into the... I don't know, maybe. And then wraps around the...
Hey, mate, stranger things can happen.
Stranger things can happen if you wear no pants.
Okay, what was I doing? So that bracket we're keeping then, yeah? This little thing.
You get them all off the sprue now if you haven't already. May as well.
Oh, yeah, that one.
The little... Yeah. That one. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to... You don't have to do the same, you don't have to want to. You can put it somewhere else, but I'm going to glue mine on the side of the turret like that.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
So that my spotlight sits like that, rather than up on the turret.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and do what you want with it. I was holding off because I thought I was going to drill a hole and mount it in, but I'm not going to bother.
No, that's all right. I'm literally just about to get the seam off the side of it.
Yeah, so. Stick yours where you will. I've got to tell you, painting the searchlights is stressful but very much fun.
That's the one thing I was badgering you about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How did you do that? I like that.
It's like, it's one of those things that when you do it, you think, I'm going to screw this up, it's not going to work. And it kind of comes out all right, but it's always terrifying to do it, but when it works, it works. When it doesn't work, it's absolute garbage.
Is it similar? You know what I'm going to say now, no doubt, is when you get to that point in a paint job where everything really looks biblical arse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it hasn't started coming together.
Yeah, you're not fully
Is it a bit like that? Yeah.
Kind of, because you're trying to paint something that's supposed to be shiny and glassy. Yeah. And that's supposed to be concave with the reflective surface inside. And you know what that looks like in your mind.
Yeah.
So when you're painting it, you're having to do completely no glassy stuff at all, and you're trying to really paint what it would look like if you drew a cartoon version of a lens. Yeah. If you were painting a two-dimensional, like painting a picture of a tank with a lens on it. So you kind of try to do that, and it just doesn't make any sense in your mind when you do it until you do it. I found a way that I like to do it. It's probably not the best way of doing it, but it gives a certain slightly GW, slightly comic book look, but it works for me. I'm sure there's better ways of doing it. I spent a while looking at things like Tamiya tank kits where they have things like spotlights and searchlights and stuff, or headlights in the box art, to see how those artists have painted them. I've never really figured it out. So I just came up with a way that works for me.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But I do completely use the Games Workshop method for things like headlights and lenses and stuff, because it looks fine. But we'll get all that would come. Bit of fine brush control needed, though, for these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's a fiddly one. And I hate the mould line down the centre of the spotlight.
Yeah, it's a bit gash, isn't it?
Yeah, you end up having to sand it so much that you get this kind of off-round shape for your spotlight. Spotlight! What's that secret joke? Oh, no, stop it.
Oh my God, shaking Fox.
Shaking Stevens not allowed on the live stream. Bobbins is in. Oops.
Hello, Bobbins.
Oh dear. He says, oops, just dropped a craft knife in my lap. All important bits are still attached, thankfully.
Yeah.
I did that once.
That would have been 7 tears.
Oh,
That's what I
God.
did there.
A bit more than 7. I did that once, and the knife just went into my leg like that. I just sat there in my leg, and I'm like, that'll be a knife in my leg then. Gonna have to take it out. It went all the way in right up to the hilt, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I did it with the top of my foot.
Ooh, that's near the bone and everything.
Yeah, it's like I've dropped the knife. I can't see it. And it was only when I flicked me foot up, I thought, what is that? And it was the top of the knife. Yeah. Yeah, that was deftly pulled out so that I didn't break the blade. It was like, yeah.
Don't break the blade. Why? Because they're expensive.
Yeah. That's when H got me the leather apron.
Oh yeah.
To stop me from dropping stuff in my feet.
I probably
do I wear it? No, it's hanging up on the hook just behind me.
It's like me. I mean, ideally, I probably shouldn't sit barefoot at the bench, but you know what? I sit barefoot at the bench because
same here.
Because I don't wear shoes indoors. Because I'm comfortable.
It's the one thing I get nagged at most by my diabetic nurse is not wearing anything on my feet, especially doing this, because you can tread on sharps and things like that. And the minute you get an infection in the feet is and I must admit I do get told off badly for that, and rightly so.
But it doesn't make any effect, because you're like me, you're an idiot, you never listen.
I've got me man cave slippers out here, and H keeps saying to me, for crying out loud, please put them on, and I'll get there. It's one of them. We always think it's not going to happen to us until it does. I
think basically you need to wear like a deep sea diving suit thing, the lead boots, don't you?
Yeah.
For some reason,
it's what it is, isn't it?
I don't know why, but this spotlight just cleaned up really easily and really nicely. Normally it takes me ages. I have to scrape away and fart around, but this one actually came out quite good.
I'll just run the scraper straight round it, and it's pretty much gone.
I think when I've built them before, the step between the two halves has always been quite significant, but this has been quite good actually. It's been quite palatable. Let's have a quick look at chat. La 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 la. Darren Edmonds, are you still attending those Festa victim counselling meetings? Asks Paul. And Darren says, no, I had one session and they said because of the severity of the trauma, I was beyond help. Box Fox says, oh, the eagle, I know that. There you go, you're a good boy. You're redeemed. If you can hear my belly, by the way, it's my belly.
Oh, lamekins.
It's making food noises. The mental scars will last you for the rest of your life, buddy. Sympathy, says Paul Lewis. And Andy says, Edmonds, that's because... I love the way he refers to people in chat by their surnames. Edmonds, that because they realised it was 7 tears. They're like, yeah, can't help you.
Yeah.
Andy says, thankfully a hefty dose of The Goons and Unchained Melody as sung by Peter Sellers can cure such yips. Big hugs to Bobbins, though, for Stabity.
Absolutely.
They recommended a desensitisation program, says Darren, but I can't even read the full playlist without breaking down. Safety shoes and goggles, boys, says Paul Di Tommaso. Hey, Paul Di Tommaso's in. Welcome, Paul.
Hello, Paul. How are you, mate? Love to you and Dom.
Box Fox says, haven't dropped a knife through my foot yet. At least he's got some sense of realism and pragmatical realistic there, because he knows it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, don't take my word for it. It will happen.
Because the thing is, the reason... Like, normally, if I sit at my desk, there's my bench, right? Here's my bench. I sit at my bench with my legs under like that. My feet are probably here somewhere, and I'm working. But we all know that when we actually end up at the bench not doing a live stream, we always work at about this part of the bench here. I don't know if you're like me. I always sit working on something right over the edge of the bench. I don't know why.
Yeah.
We have a whole workbench and we end up working on this bit. So anything we drop just falls. And because you move back, your feet are then right at the edge of the bench, and that's when you stamp yourself.
Feet are fully exposed. Yeah.
It's like we give.
I have a snap-on tool chest underneath the bench, right under here, with all the drawers pulled out. So I have my keyboard resting on it, and I keep it pulled out to protect my feet.
Yeah.
And what happens? It'll ricochet off the edge of the drawer straight on my foot.
But this is what I don't get, though.
I forget that I've got my foot in the drawer. I kick it shut to get up, and I've shut my foot in the drawer.
That's a bit dumb. But I never understood this. Like, we give ourselves these great big workbenches, but in reality, all we need is a workbench literally that wide, that deep.
Yeah.
If I had a workbench 6 foot long, but like 5 inches deep, I'd still be able to do all my work, because that's what I'd work on the very edge.
My workbench goes from one end of this room to the other, and I end up working in an A4 section full of clutter.
That's because
why?
You fill it full of all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Because we're men, we're idiots. We don't do, obviously, good things and thinking.
It's like we've all got hobbies, though. We fill it up and then we stack stuff in front of it, so you can never get to the drawers to get to your stuff anyway.
Yeah, I've got lights in front of my drawers. I'm like, oh, bum.
Yeah, so I can't be asked to move that to get in the drawer. I'll work around it. I don't need it.
The funny thing is, right, I've spent all this money on Hobby's Own units and drawers, and yet most of the stuff I never go and get. Because it's all the stuff you have sitting around on the side, on the edge of your bench. For years, I just had stuff piled up around the bench, like bottles and things.
Yeah.
And it looked really terrible. If you look at my early videos, I've just got a workbench and just crap piled up around the edge, like a wall of detritus. So I started getting these Hobby's Own things and put everything away. It's nice and neat. But a lot of these drawers I haven't even opened in years.
Yeah.
Like there's one that's got Starship Filth and oil brushes in it. I don't think I've opened that in about 4 years.
Yeah.
There's one that's full of little cups.
Yeah.
There's one that's full of like tiny little paper leaves and some clips and some other bits and bobs. It's like, and I haven't used leaves.
Drawers of tat, don't we?
So it's like all they're full of all the stuff that I don't actually ever use, and then when I do need to actually store like paints that I do use, I end up just buying new drawers. It's like I could just get rid of all the other crap I never use. I've got a drawer full of Dymo tape. I never use
I've got a drawer full of offcuts of plastic sprue and bits of cocktail stick and odd broken bits of wire, and it's like, why have I got all this shite?
Yeah, I've got two. I've got 2 drawers full of just foam, but that's for chipping. So that's a good thing to have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'm going to attach my spotting light. Where are you going to put your spotlight? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, I'm just going to bang it on the side of the turret.
Ooh. I don't know why I like. I don't know why I like doing that. I just do it. I think it looks better.
I am going for as similar as possible so that it makes teaching the paintings easy.
No, it doesn't actually matter with the spotlight because it doesn't really matter.
I know, but I'm not going to put it on the end of the Gatling gun because it'd look daft.
Yeah, no, it'd look Warhammer.
Yeah, it'd look.
This is Warhammer we're talking about. I was debating whether to put it right in the middle of the turret so it's in the way of the driver, because that would be complete Warhammer. So have it right there so he can't see anything. In the commander, I mean, not the driver. Well, let's see if we can glue that on. Let's glue that on, shall we? Yes, I think we shall. Jolly good. Do it now.
Muse says her table's 8 foot by 4 foot and I work in a space in front of the laptop. Yeah.
Yep. It's like you see people where I know like Steve B does it. He's always like working like pretty much in front of and on his laptop. I dread to think the state of that keyboard.
Yeah.
What is in that keyboard? Like the keys don't work. That's because there's no gaps between the key and the base. Because it's full of plastic shavings and assorted goodness.
Absolutely.
The rest of my stuff lives in crates until the boy moves back out or we get a bigger house, says Muse.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are you doing?
Me, I'm sanding a seam off of the spotlight mount, mate.
Spotlight!
Get your spotlight mounts here.
There's no actual 70s songs about spotlights, is there? I couldn't think of anything then.
Darren says there's no point in putting anything away because you won't remember where you put it. Exactly.
Well, that's why, if you look at all my drawers, I can't show you, but if you look at my drawers, they've all got a little bit of tape on the front saying what's in them. Yeah. So I've got drawers labelled tape and balls. Yeah. I've got a box labelled cocks and sharp blades. I know what that means. Lid cups, filth and oil brushes, foam and foam 2. I've got a drawer full of tweezers. I don't need any of the tweezers in that drawer, but I've got a drawer full of tweezers.
Yeah, but it's again, it's all stuff we have in it. Yeah, I'll keep that. I'm going to use it, and you never do.
Yeah, you never do. Can't go back. Can't go back. Right, let's glue this puppy on. Let's glue this thing together. Let's do it now. I keep thinking there should be something that goes on here of the turret.
Yeah, it
on
looks
this
a bit naked, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can find something, but in fact, I want to glue this on now because I need to do the sanding with the sprue goo. Oh, it should be all right. It should be fine.
B3 says, I do actually clean my work area between builds, including the detritus that ends up all over my laptop. Gadget wipes are a must. And then he says, afternoon, by the way. Afternoon, Steve. How you doing, mate?
We've just been, talking about you a lot. It's because we were talking about him.
Just been bigging up your crazy Greeble builds, mate.
Yeah. Look at the bigularity.
Absolutely. Now, there's a scratch building genius if ever you need one, mate.
I don't know if that works there. I think it works better there. Don't forget, of course, when you do your spotlight, make sure your spotlight is vertical, not parallel to the bit of the tank. I've done that before now. Stuck it on me like, oh wait, when I put the turret on, it's like, oh. How are the fish? Not melting yet. Hopefully they're not melted and they're still around.
No, they're all sitting there giving me the eagle eyes. They've been fed, but they just just sitting there. Yeah, they're just sitting there staring at me. It's like, yeah.
They're not. Are they just all sitting there wishing you dead or something?
No, they just line up in there, and it's like a subtle hint of, we want more grub. Yeah, I know. I'm going to be standing up shortly, so I'll feed you then.
Maybe they're interested in what you're doing. Maybe they would buy your bills. Maybe they buy your bills, I bet.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. I'm going to glue my spotlight on now. Stand by for action. I could really use the quick setting glue, I suppose, but...
You're not on shot, by the way, mate.
Am I not? Yeah, camera nonsense. I'll be out of focus again, then you can guarantee it. It's because I moved the camera. I had it perfectly set up earlier on. But now, no. Let's get some glue on, that might be easier. Hello, something happened. What happened?
No idea.
Dicor has subscribed. Thank you very much, Dicor. I didn't put it in performance mode.
No, he had one job, folks. One job, that's all he had.
Hey, I've got a lot of jobs. Thank you for your subscription, Dicor.
Absolutely, all helps. It's all supporting. All helps support us. All subscriptions are always welcome, folks.
Yeah.
It's free, at the end of the day.
There we go. Spotlight attachifated.
Oh, you're good. You're off shot again, mate.
Am I? God damn it! With this camera.
Yeah.
It's difficult to know where to point the camera. It's a pain in the bum. I say, if I hadn't had
there
to
you
open
go. You're back in now.
If I hadn't had to open that damn window. Right, I'm going to be working here like this. It's too low.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I should just justificate the focusings.
We do try our hardest to stay on shot, folks, but sometimes we just wander off unintentionally because we're men of a certain age that have magnifiers on and lenses next to us. So sometimes we'll pull off screen just so that we can hold what we're working on.
Or we'll just move the camera and be inept enough to put it back in the right place. It's more like my style.
I was just trying to big you up there, mate, and make you look less of a spoon.
I acknowledge my spoonularity. Right, there you go. Spotlight added.
Oh, I'm impressed, soldier.
I made sure it's vertical as best I can find it, because you never know until you put the turret on. But it's not, unfortunately, like that. The one reason I used to like drilling a hole in the side was because I could put it like that, properly 90 degrees. But you can't with this. You have to have it at a slight angle because you're just gluing it to the surface. If you were drilling a hole, you could do it properly at 90 degrees to the that level with that, say, but you can't do that really. Yeah. So that's
on there.
It's on there.
Impressed.
It looks fine. I'll leave a little clean up there because I've got some glue in place. I shall leave that to set. I shall see if I can yet clean up my Gatling. Might be a bit soon, but we'll give it a go. Let's risk it for a biscuit. Risking it for a biscuit. I reckon on the end of this Gatling.
Yeah.
It's up to you. If you want to, we can do the same heat staining effect that we're going to do on the melter guns if you want. Which means we'd have to paint the end of the Gatling gun a goldy bronze colour rather than just the same colour as the barrels.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. Like I said to you before, I will go with the flow.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. See what works and what doesn't. Maybe it might look better with it just being the same colour as the rest of the gun. I do not know.
Lynn's saying the tanks are looking good. Thank you, Lynn. They're getting there slowly but surely.
They are great little kits.
Oh yeah, I would thoroughly recommend them.
Yeah. I mean, they're not cheap or anything, but especially if it's somebody who's an armour builder and wants to start getting into Warhammer, it's a great way to cross that divide between the tanks they're used to building and, Warhammer stuff. It's a fun little way to bridge the gap. Colin?
Yes, mate.
Do you have spurs?
No.
Okay.
Should I answer yes to this? I just feel I'm being trapped into something here.
Well, I can't do the next line unless you say yes.
Oh, right, okay. Ask me again.
Festa?
Yes.
Do you have spurs?
Yes, mate, I have spurs.
Do those spurs jingle, jangle, jingle?
They certainly do. They jingle, jangle all night long.
As you move right merrily along?
As I skedaddle merrily along, yeah.
Good lad.
Do you feel better now?
I do. You fulfilled your role well.
Cheers, mate.
You always think there's like a catch, don't you, when it's with me, but there isn't always.
Absolutely.
I don't blame you for that. It's absolutely the correct thing to do. It's absolutely the correct thing to do. It's like my friend sending me the links to that astronaut pooping video, and I'm like, I'm not even watching it. It's not. It's about noodles. No, it's not. I can see the word pooping astronauts in the title. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that I don't trust you, of course.
It's not that you don't trust me, but you don't trust me. Listen, I don't trust me, so you shouldn't trust me at all. You should always trust your Uncle Fox, but if I'm not your uncle, yeah, don't. Lynn says, spurs that go jingle, jangle, jingle. As they roll, excuse me, as we roll right merrily along.
So is that where it's going?
Hang on, let me zoom you in so I can see. That's where I've put mine, yeah? You put yours wherever you want. Ooh, looks good. Is it verticable?
I'm just working it out.
Yeah. Difficult to know, but if you base it to the clamps on the bottom of the barrel, which are vertical, you get a rough idea.
Clamps on the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, the little ring and the grip ring. That's the only real thing you can. Or the top of the.
How's that look?
Pretty damn good to me.
It's gone back a bit, isn't it? It's gone back a bit. It's a bit pissed, isn't it? How's that?
Looks about right to me.
It has.
Looks about right to me, buddy. I like the plastic card on the turret, on the Gatling. That's quite nice.
What, that?
Yeah.
That's Vallejo putty.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a strip of plastic card. Okay.
No, couldn't be. Ain't that technical, mate.
Who's it? Boo-ba-doo-doo-boo. As a mad merrily love. Got to be careful for copyright.
So
obviously.
we got all of that going on.
We got hands.
Right.
The gag count is going. So what have you done now? You've done everything now, have you?
No, I've still got bits and bobs to do.
You've got your handles.
I want to put a bit of gloop on there to get rid of that seam and get that started. I've got all my handles ready.
Handles. Well, I'm just cleaning up my gun. Then when I've glued the gun on, I think all I've got then is handles and...
Yeah, I'm cleaning up my smokestacks.
Smoke things. But I'll leave them till I've put other greebles on, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gluing them on yet because... Yeah.
I'm tempted to put... I don't know quite know where to put my smoke dispenser. I might just use one of them, I don't know. I might put one on the other side of the turret. Yeah,
it's one of them, isn't it?
Although, I do want to make sure I keep the very front of the turret clean because I want to put a stripe on there. I might want to put a stripe on there. I don't know yet. Stripe might go on the front.
Yeah, you was on about that before, wasn't you? Using them side panels for a bit of stripage.
Well, maybe there or maybe on the... Because they should really go... I prefer them on the actual track units, which you can do on this. It's on the Macarius Vanquisher, wasn't that easy to do, so I did them on the turret instead. But on these, they've got, like, the panel lines are in the perfect place to do stripes. On the Vanquisher, they weren't, so I couldn't do them on there. I did them on the turret instead. But I wasn't as keen on that. You don't have to do battalion markings, but I think they look cool. And just so you know, by the way, just so you know, there is a tank that was pre-Leman Russ, about the same period as the Macarius Vanquisher, that actually has a big, dirty, great big fuel barrel on the back.
Oh, right.
The Malcador tanks they were like Leman Russes, but like before Leman Russes it was the equivalent, and they had like a fuel tank on the back. So if you wanted to add a fuel barrel on the back, you could feel free. It's going to be the same colour as the rest of it, so...
Needs something, I'm not quite sure what yet. I'll know it'll talk to me when the Greebles bags spread out on the bench.
Bench spreading.
Yeah. I shall spread my wares on the bench.
Casitas coin if you cannot spread your wares, please. If you keep your wares to yourself. Oops, dropping. Diddly bomb, a diddly bomb, a diddly bomb, a diddly bomb. Now, here's the question for people.
We've done well, though, when you think of it, considering this is, what, the third show. We're still pretty much in a similar place on the build.
Well, what's more impressive, I think, is the fact that we're on the third show and you're still doing the building. I think you've managed to not restrain yourself, but I think you've managed to decelerate your building and savour the flavour a bit more. You're you are taking time with it, but I think you're not just rushing through the build to get to the next bit. You're actually just taking your time and enjoying the process more than I think you normally would, because often you'd want to get to the custom modding bit, don't you? And you just rush through.
I normally like to get to the right. I'm going to shed loads of stuff to it now.
But my thinking is that by taking your time with this, with the building it off the box thing, it gives you more time to understand the model and think of things you could add to it. Plus, you'd get more chill time.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper. See, I've always said, I always say, and I say it every episode when it comes up, I'm a builder. I'm a painter, not a builder. But Warhammer kits are one of the few kits where I actually enjoy the building process more or less.
Yeah.
So I can quite happily sit there and say, I'm bored, I've got nothing to do, I'll sit and build something for a few hours.
Yeah.
Whereas any other model kit, I'd be like, oh God, no. Get that thing built and painted, get it built so I can paint it. But these, I actually enjoy. Like, I've spent 20 minutes now cleaning up this one thing, and it's like, it's just kind of fun.
Yeah. Therapeutic.
Yeah. But by the same token, I have to thank you because one of my aims has been to get you to slow down and savour in the flavour in a bit more. It's made me do the same thing. I've not cut corners like when I normally do something like this. Probably a few corners I would have cut by now and be like, it's good enough, whatever. But I've not, because you're sitting there saying, I've put some putty on that to fill it, and I'm thinking, well, I should do the same then. I should do something that in depth. So, like, I'm slowing you down, and you're making me take more pride in my work. So it's working out nicely for both of us.
Of course it is.
Basically, I think we're married now, is what I'm saying.
And you've been doing scratch building as well.
Well, a little bit.
Well, you're finishing each other's sentences on a regular basis. Now, that is one thing that is worrying.
I don't want your babies. You can leave that out.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Exactly. It's like,
That's not going to happen.
Darren Edmonds says, I think both your tanks need a split it. That's what he did there.
Did it what now?
Split it.
Split it.
Yeah.
Have I missed something here?
No idea, mate. There you go.
I don't know what that means. Now, has everyone in chat had a chance to watch the gameplay reveal for Starfield?
No.
If you've been interested in it. And if so, what are your opinions in chat? You can't watch it yet, because you've got like about 14 years of games to get through first before you even get to the modern games.
Yeah, it's in the real distant future for me.
Yeah. Habahoo, hizibahadaboo. Dadahibaboo. Right, where's my end? Where's my end piece, Mr. End Piece?
Oh, well, he's having trouble with his end piece, folks.
Yes, I'm not going to fill in that gap between the end bit and there, because it's a very even gap.
Yeah.
You can get away with it saying it's a deliberate different piece between that, but if we paint this part a bronzy heat-stained colour, then we can paint the actual muzzle end, this bit, a silver.
Yeah. Yeah. All I've done on mine is where you've got the holes drilled.
Yeah.
When you look at the end of it, one of my circles wasn't a circle. It looked like an hexagon on one part.
Oh, right.
So I had to build it up just underneath to round it off like the other bit. So.
Oh, lovely. Well, the way I'm thinking is, that looks like a heat shielding kind of thing anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll paint it with heat shieldy goldy colours, but then this bit, because it's got that gap, and I think that gap is not a gap that you need to fill. I think it's meant to be like a separate component, and it looks about right.
Absolutely.
And it would make sense that this bit rotates independent of the heat shield. I'm making it all up in my brain. It all works fine, so...
Hey, mate, works for me.
I'm pulling excuses out my butt to reason why we can paint it differently.
Hey, mate, sounds really super suave, windswept, highly considered and professional to me, mate.
But all of those things are nonsense because I can't do any of those things.
Yeah, in other words, I was talking complete and utter.
Yeah, as were we both. Right, let's do this. I'm going to do my end piece.
I am going to rummage through greebles,
Don't
mate.
you rummage around my end piece.
Because I've done me smoke bits.
Yep. Have you glued them on or have you just cleaned them up or what?
No, I've just cleaned them up. That only leaves me the handles, but I'm not going to glue any of them on yet. My searchlight's on. My searchlight, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah, dirty great big searchlight.
Is on.
Splicket, a technical innovation specifically designed for flinging human excrement, let's say, at lighthouses. Okay.
So
the stripe I put, Steve says, the stripe I put on my janky Macarius Vulcan that he scratch built, was very impressive, was a pain, but only because the track unit I used was a bit wrong and had angles. Angles.
Fork angles.
Lynn Dipple's put a comment for you there, mate. In capitals.
Underneath the
Don't need to know what the second line is, don't care.
Yeah, we don't care about that. Right, let's have a looky-loo at what crudgelarity we've got in here.
Quick look at comments. Spurs that go jingle, jangle, jingle, or is that tortilla crisps and salsa? Both.
So we did there.
Spurs is... Darren Edmonds says Fox Spurs is probably an offensive word too, Festa. Paul Di Tomasa says we've got ourselves a couple of rhinestone cowboys here.
Absolutely.
I got Spurs, they jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jingle. Copyright. I'll probably get demonetised, but never mind, we've done it now anyway. Box Fox says Festa's Orc tank be like, oops, all sponsons.
Absolutely. If in doubt, put a gun or a sponson on there.
Yeah. B3 says needs more DACA.
Yeah.
Is that all the things you're going to add to your tank, or is that just a pile of stuff?
That's just a pile of stuff I'm rummaging through.
What he really means is that's secretly all the things he's going to add to the tank, because that's how Colin be. That's how Colin do.
I've got wings and
you need a wings.
This is stuff that's been left over from the Bane blade. Like spare bits and bobs, but...
B3 says, I need Starfield to be out now because I want to play it to death and make all the things. Yeah, because in Starfield you get to build your own spaceship, and Steve's like, that's what I do!
Yeah, Steve's a legend, mate.
You'd like it because it's all modular. You get like 100 different bits, and you can stick them all together into different ships. Paul Lewis says, on your recommendation, Fox, I watched the Starfield trailer thingy and thought, meh. Admittedly, I dozed off halfway through, but after rewatching, I still think meh is about right. You're a heretic, sir, and we accept you for it anyway.
Absolutely.
I'm going to attach my... Oh, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Shut up. Yes, let's just do it.
Get on with it. He's a spoon, isn't he?
Spoon! Maybe some plastic card over the actual bit that the gun attaches to, but
that's whatever.
Look at the stompularity. I'm going to glue my gun in place though, so it doesn't rotate up and down, because I should have it pointing up a little bit. That'd be cool.
What's that? I might have for a jaunty angle.
I might have my gun, my large weapon, slightly erect, if you pardon the expression.
You're steady, Neris.
I could have it pointing straight forward, but I think a slightly erect might be more amusant.
Yeah, don't you point that weapon at me. Yeah.
Especially when it's slightly erect.
Yeah.
Ooh, matron.
Oh dear, I'll worry about him.
I wouldn't. Right. Somebody has to.
We have got a bit of an eagle thing over there. Oh, got a spare gun.
Boxes make the car look good.
A lot of this is
only slightly erect.
Have you a bit of him?
I don't want to be too offensive. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
What's that, mate?
You know the bit where the little bit of what you call mantling, where the gun is.
Yeah.
The upper bit attaches to the lower bit that's already on the turret.
Yeah, that's a mangy old seam, isn't it?
I reckon you can get a lovely bit of welding on there, mate. Lovely weld line, like it's the top and lower panels welded together.
Yeah. Is that a subtle hint?
No, I'm just thinking it might look quite good on you. Oh, I could push it backwards a bit.
I can do that. I'll tell you what it's going to have. It's going to have one of them. Have some of that.
What's that?
What else can we have?
All the things.
Do you know? Might go for a matching pair.
Ooh, I don't even know what you're talking about, so it's exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to send a message to the enemy. What's the message, sir? The message is, have you some of that? Ha!
Have you
and then
a bit
fire.
of him?
And then press fire.
Do you know? Oh, that's a dog, isn't it?
That is a nasty joint between the front and back mantles, though, isn't it?
I wonder.
When I wander lonely as a cloud, o'er hill and dale.
Do you know? Yeah. Faff it. That'll work. I'll have a bit of him. Okay, we'll leave it like that for now. There's a couple of bits to figure out.
Pretty
work
mangy,
out.
that. The mangularity.
I don't know, I think
Not a good joint.
I don't like them on there. Right.
We've lost Festa, by the way. He'll be gone for 5 minutes, having a fun in his ball pool of parts.
Sorry, I'm narrating again.
No, it's
anyway.
good. It literally is like that. Literally is like your ball pool.
Yeah.
There's a box full of bits, like a kid in a ball pool. Whee.
Oh.
My erection is not quite as erect as I thought it would be.
Oh dear.
It's a little.
Well, we'll go and see a doctor, mate.
It's erect, but not as impressively as I thought. Never mind. It will suffice. It will serve a purpose quite handily.
Oh, we're going to have him and all.
Have him.
I keep looking at that and all. So I'll go
Oh, you got spurs. They jingle, jangle, jingle. Right, my barber. There's 3 extra tanks in that pile, Col. Says Steve. You could have used Raggy as a backpack that hung off the back of the tank. Yeah, but Lynn, he couldn't because that would require folding back Raggy into a backpack shape. And folding Raggy, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, folding Raggy is an optional choice.
You don't fold Raggy, you just break him into pieces. It's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
You know, there's a piece of Raggy. This is a cloth. Look. It holds its shape no matter how you pose it.
Oh, yeah.
I had to cut it with a set of nips.
A big set of what, sorry?
Nippers, even. Nips.
I was going to say renovation.
Yeah, oh, steady, Neris. Did I put the other one back in the bag? I didn't, did I?
Back in the bag. Back in the bag. Back in the bag. Back in the bag.
Back
Super
in
match
the
game.
Back in the bag. That's them. Right, all of that. Or bulk of that's for the old Stomp Maroonykins.
Steve says there's been a lot of comparison Starfield to No Man's Sky. Some are even calling it No Man's Skyrim, but to my mind it's more like the Outer Worlds if the NPC character interaction is typical Bethesda. I see more like take No Man's Sky, but then put a dirty, big, typical, classic Bethesda RPG on top of it. There you go. Because No Man's Sky has no real story elements to it, really. It's not an RPG. Starfield's going to be an RPG. It's a Bethesda RPG. So, yeah, you can't really compare that. I know the only thing with similarity between No Man's Sky and Starfield is, oh look, you can mine. You use a weapon to mine rocks. Okay. Because in a lot of ways, it's like, you know, look at any first-person corridor shooter and saying that's just like Doom. It's true.
Yeah.
So Starfield is like in No Man's Sky or Star Citizen because it's set in space with space travel, the same as all the other games that do that. So people say, oh no, it's rubbish, it's just like No Man's Sky. Well, so are all the other games that are just like that. It's like saying a first-person shooter is rubbish, looks rubbish because it's the same as every other first-person shooter. Well, it's a first-person shooter. But it's the Bethesda RPG elements that get me excited for it. Not to everyone's taste, of course, but I know I'll get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours out of it. So I'm more than moist with anticipation.
Oh, is it making you all wistful and glowy in all the wistful and glowy man places?
Yeah. All my special intimate feminine areas.
Yeah.
Look at that, the actual turret canopy cover, cupola cover thing. Stays on by itself with no glue.
Oh, happy days.
But I think you get a handle for that, for the back of it. You've got two little square bits there, you can fit a handle in there, I think. I don't know if you're supposed to, but it would make sense to have a handle on the outside, even though it doesn't say to put one on it.
Unless it goes on the inside edge.
No, I mean,
I'm
thinking those two squares there on the outside.
Yeah.
But the little square bits on the pull handles aren't the right shape. It looks like you should have like a handle with two square tabs on the end so you can... But yeah.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, because I mean, how are you supposed to open that from the outside?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean about handles on the outside edge. I get you. I understand. Yes, I know what you mean. You need handles.
Get your handles here, £3 for £1.
£3. I shall clean up my smoke emitters.
Or £4 for £1, because you get 4 handles.
4 handles. I shall clean up my smoke grenade launcher things. And I never know whether to drill these out, you know.
What's that? The smoke things? Yeah, I was wondering that earlier.
Because they're moulded like they've got a cap on the end, like a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
But if you look at smoke dispensers, they're just hollow tubes.
Yeah.
So in the past I've always drilled them out, but I can't be bothered. It's not.
I like your can't be bothered itis.
Do you like that logic? I could do it.
Yeah.
Or I just couldn't.
Yeah. I could do it if I could be asked. But being that I can't be asked, I'm not going to do it.
See that I can't actually be bothered doing it. Do you know? I just know I'm having. It's going to be fish and chips. It's going to be fish and chips. It's not going to be bloody chicken Kiev and Fox's mess at all, is it? I know. I don't even know why I bother saying it's going to be Fox's mess and chicken Kievs. It's not. It's going to end up with some sort of.
What do you fancy doing?
Well, I don't fancy doing all the washing up and then the cooking, but
exactly.
I need to not eat crappy takeaway food all the time. It's not helping me. But then I don't fancy doing all the washing up that's left over from 2 days and the cooking.
Yeah, you was a bit poorly rough earlier, so treat yourself.
You weren't well yesterday, so eat some really high-fat filth, okay?
Yeah, eat some really grungy stuff, Fox. It'll make me feel better, make you feel better.
Yes.
Yeah, see what I did there.
Have you cleaned your grab handles yet, if you pardon the expression?
My grab handles, no, I've not cleaned any of them yet, mate.
Okay, the challenge, before you now, have you taken them off the sprue?
No, they're over there on the sprue, mate.
The challenge...
I'm doing greebles at the moment.
Okay, the challenge when you get to them, they're only attached by one knob, and the knob is at the top of the handle where the top of the hill shape.
Yeah.
The challenge, if you think you're bold enough to take it, to accept it, is to clean the knob up without breaking any of the handles in half.
Yeah, I can go with that.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge I set myself every time I do the grab handles, because I always end up like snapping one of them, because it's at the bit at the top, which is also the thinnest part.
Yeah.
And you can't get your nippers around it, so you have to use a knife. Or I'd recommend a metal file, actually. It's probably the easiest way to do it. It's a bit of a ball ache. Oh, grenade launchers. I hate cleaning these. Smoke launchers, wherever they are. I think we'll just assume there's a cap on the end of it, because I don't bother drilling them out. That's not going to happen. Lindipple says, "Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry when we explained that you couldn't fold Raggy into a backpack if you wanted to."
Yeah.
Watching Festa just now, it looked like he. Just now, I'll start again. Watching Festa just now, says Darren. It looked like he was reading the bones. He throws the parts on the table and he can see into the future.
Absolutely, reading the bones, reading the bones.
Like an ancient Chinese soothsayer with the sticks.
Yeah.
With the I Ching sticks.
Yeah.
The Bobbin says, "You don't fold Raggy, Raggy folds you." B3 says, "I may have done a little wee when the trailer gameplay dropped, but that might just be due to being old." That's Starfield.
Good man.
I can see why people find it not interesting. You know, it's a Bethesda RPG. If you love Bethesda RPGs, you know you're going to enjoy it and you'll get excited for it. If that's not the kind of game you play, then you won't get excited.
Absolutely, it's whatever floats your boat, isn't it?
Yeah. People that fall in love with Bethesda RPGs don't expect like the latest cutting edge graphics.
Absolutely.
Or anything, you know, spectacular. They expect a few bugs here and there that get sorted out. They expect a deep story with, you know, a lot of stuff to do, and they expect fantastic user mods later on. It's one of those things. I understand why people don't find it interesting. It's fine. Oh, something happened. What was that? Let's see what happened. Keith Gamage has subscribed. Welcome, Keith. You're a lovely feather. It's not true what they say about you. Thank you very much for subscribing. I got a ding in my... I can't unfortunately see the overlay that pops up, but I do hear the little ping.
He gets dingage.
It goes ding. That little ping sound, by the way, a little bit of interest for you. That ping sound, guys, that you hear when somebody subscribes, that little... It's the same sound I use when I use my title card. You know, the model making guru logo. That little sound. It's the same sound, but do you want to know where that sound comes from?
Go on.
That sound was provided to me by Tony, as in Helgen35, our very good friend Tony McPony. And it's actually him pinging the spring on his desk lamp.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because he was every time he did a video, every now and then he'd move the camera and it'd go, his spring would go bling like that every now and then.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, can you just record that? Because I can use that sound. I was doing something and I needed that exact sound. I'm like, Tony's got a lamp that does that. So he recorded it and sent me a few of them. And I used it for my intro. It's a great little ding sound. That's the spring on Tony's old desk lamp, which he probably doesn't have anymore.
Well, my pigeons, 'cause they coo, is actually you doing the coo noise.
On a live stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Pigeons.
Pigeons, because they coo.
Pretty pigeons. I don't know.
There you go. I want that bit.
I find cleaning these smoke dispensers really just...
Quite therapeutic, isn't it?
No, not the smoke dispenser. I find it just annoying because they're all little tiny corners and edges and they're like, ugh. This is one of the bits that's not pleasing to demold line.
I want to get those off of there.
Marcus Brune is in. Sorry I'm late. Hi Foxx and Colin and all in chat. Welcome, Marcus.
Hello,
we don't
Marcus.
mind if you're late, mate. It's always nice when you turn up. Willkommen auf dem Livestreamen gefahrten. Ja, das ist richtig. I can never learn to speak German because if I do, it'll ruin everything.
German language is brilliant, though.
I know. I was thinking about learning it at one point. I thought no, because then I couldn't do my silly pigeon German, and I'd lose that entire role of silly nonsense. I'd rather just be able to do my silly made-up pretend German.
Yeah,
it's better that I don't know what the language, how the language actually is, because I'd lose that.
I think most English people would love to speak more languages. It's something our education system really let us down with, I think. Yeah.
Right, quick update. What I'm going to do, on the back of this here smoke dispenser, there's a little square panel with 3 little blobs on it. And the mould line goes right between all 3 of them. They're so tiny, I'm just going to cut them off and replace them with rivets.
Good man.
I'm going to cut them off, get rid of the mould line, and replace them with rivets. Because I can't be fussed trying to go between these little tiny blebs when it's not actually possible.
You're a rivet.
Plus it means I get to some rivets. Woo! Where are these rivets? Da 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 da. I'll clean the other one up. Clean your bits. Damn it, I've lost the cap for the draft knife. Now I have to be really careful, says the Bobbins. Yes. Graphics-wise, it looks stunning. Almost made me think it wasn't a Bethesda game. Yeah, I mean, graphics-wise, it looks good. I wouldn't say it looks, to me, stunning, because it's not going to be the best-looking game. You know, it's not got any... It still seems to be using very basic, you know, effects in there. It looks nice. It looks really nice. For a Bethesda game, it looks fantastic. It's not cutting edge. There's no ray tracing effect even for like shadows or anything, but that's fine. I don't need that. It's probably still using very basic cube maps for things like reflections and stuff, and there's a few hokey bits, but it's a Bethesda game. You don't play Bethesda games for their looks.
No.
And that even being said, one, people will do mods to make it look even better anyway. And two, when I play Fallout 4, I think Fallout 4 can look really nice, just the way the light shines on things sometimes and the lighting. So
absolutely.
You get so absorbed in the world and being in the world that you don't mind the not cutting edge graphics. At the end of the day, I'll quite happily take slightly dummy graphics if it means I get the option of then having a massive open world with lots of interactivity. There's a trade-off.
Yeah.
It's always a trade-off.
Absolutely.
It's like you could say, well, Cyberpunk looks really nice. It's like, yeah, but Cyberpunk's a much smaller, like, game world with a lot less going on. The thing with a Bethesda RPG is, at any one time, you've got every single item in the world in a database.
Yeah.
And everything that you can touch and pick up has to be recorded at all times, where it is exactly, what state it's in, and all this kind of stuff. It has to track all this stuff. So
Yes.
I don't mind a bit of a hit on the graphics if it means I get a fully absorbing world. So that's why people who really love Bethesda games don't really care about them looking cutting edge. It looks really good, don't get me wrong. It does look really nice. Need to fix the frame rate, but I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still a little bit moist about it, so yes, absolutely.
It's having that effect, is it?
Yep. That's the thing, when I've spent like 900 hours in that game doing bits and bobs and exploring, I'm not really going to care what it looks like.
Nah.
Because I've had 900 hours of having fun. Right, let's replace these little blobs, shall we? Get your blobs out! Actually, the question is, I've now removed those blobs, have I got any rivets small enough? I could have planned that better.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I should have really planned that one a bit better. Never mind.
Yeah.
Fox, you think your Germany's made up, but you actually said my dog's underwear tastes of garlic. Ooh.
Brilliant.
Die Hunden Underpanten mit the tasting garlic and breathen. Stinken Gefahren. Ja, das ist richtig. Hunden Undergarten. Die Underkraken die Hunden. Das ist richtig. mit the Puppen and the hair and... I'm moving on now. Let's stick some rivets on. Und now for the Riveten gefahren with the sticking and the placing, ja. Everybody in the world who is German hates me. I can see it.
Oh, they don't hate you.
Because I just murder their
Or
language
do
completely.
they?
Hey, they don't do duvets though, do? One rivet. I know I'm off camera. Apologies, but I've got to do this close up.
And if Lynn is watching, I am stood up.
Oh, good girl. Because it is over 2 hours now.
Yeah, just in case.
I forgot to set an alarm.
I didn't.
Do you have to take anything?
Yeah, I've already taken it, mate.
Good lad. It's not true what they say about you.
No,
You're
that
very
was
good.
what my alarm was, to remind me to take my meds and to stand.
Yeah, please be
See, I
upstanding.
do as me told.
I do as me told.
Yeah.
There you go. I've replaced my little knobs.
I will have a look in a sec. I'm just welding.
Oh, you just weld. Don't worry about it. You know what I've done. Welding? What are you welding?
I'm welding the front panel because I wanted to put that on there. So I have. I'm welding it on. I'll show you when it's welded.
Yeah, don't show me now. Show me when you sat down and we're done.
But yeah, I just hunted the greebles down. I thought, well, whilst I'm stood up, I can weld that. So yeah, it's basically I'm welding an eagle to the front there. See?
Jolly good.
Big angle riveted panel.
Oh, lovely.
That will then go down and join underneath. And
damn you, sir.
I know.
Eagle.
That's just something different on there, isn't it?
You're channeling your inner Imperial by adding eagles. The Emperor would very much approve.
Oh, would he? Oh.
Yeah. The Aquila of the Imperium of Man.
Yeah.
With the side with the eye looking to the future.
Yeah.
And the head with the blindfold looking to the past because it can't see the past.
Yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
Blinded to the past but looking forward to the future. I've got all these handles on my mat, but my mat's also covered in bits of plastic and cut off sprue which look like handles. I need to clean that.
Probably for the best. Got a bit of that.
Probably for the best.
I got.
Right, let's try cleaning these handles, shall we?
Here
we go. Stand by for cursing and words. Fox, you have to say willkommen im beim livestream. Is it beam or beim? Is it beam or... I never know if EI is beam or beam. Willkommen im Livestream von mit Model Making Guru und Festa 67's Workshop. Willkommen. What's auf dem? Auf dem. Of welcome of the. That doesn't really work then, does it? Yeah. Willkommen im Livestream. BIM. 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 Beam. BIM. I know things like if the word starts with an S, you pronounce it as a Z, but if the S is in the middle of the word, or not at the start, you pronounce it as an S.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you would say Zonderkraft, not Sonderkraft. But you would say Fußball, not Fußball. Although that's a double S, that's a different S.
It's just got a distinctive sound in it, German.
Willkommen beim Livestream von Model Making Guru. Welcome to the live stream of Model Making Guru.
You're good.
Willkommen beim Livestream von Model Making Guru.
It's not true what they say.
Oh, it probably is. Willkommen beim Livestream von Model Making Guru mit the Gluen und the Sticken und the Kürzensphären. Mit the teeny tiny Plastiken Stickenspuren. Ja. Mit the feinen Schreipen und the Kuttenschapen. And people have asked me why I do that silly pigeon German. It's because my dad used to do it. My dad was from Glasgow.
I was going to say, sounds like the chef off the Muppets.
Yeah, it was. My dad was from Glasgow, so of course he did pretend silly German, which makes no sense at all. He used to do it all the time for fun, so just for silliness, and I kind of inherited it. Like for no reason at all, he wouldn't say Fox. He wouldn't say, come into the living room. He'd say, kommen Sie ins. What would he say? Kommen Sie ins die Lebensraum, which is not real German, not fully real German. He didn't speak German at all. He just made it up.
Yeah.
And it was just his thing. He did this silly. Nobody knows why he did it, but it was hilarious the way he did it. I can't do it anywhere near it. It was good.
At the end of the day, it was fun.
Yes, I'm cleaning my first hand grab thing.
Oh, I'm impressed.
You're looking at about 2 or 3 minutes per handle.
Cool.
Per handle. And I would recommend a little metal file rather than...
Yeah, I've got files over there.
Good lad. And then a little bit of sponging at the end just to sand it. Because they really do snap dead easily. WARHAMMER SUNDAYS, yes. Willkommen auf? No, willkommen beim... What's the difference between im and beim? Because I don't know the difference, you see. We don't have tenses and like ownership of things. So what's the difference between im and beim? I know mit and von. Mit is with and von is of.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you'd say live stream mit model making Guru and Festa 67's workshop would be with me and you. Or it would be the live stream of von model making Guru. But what's im and beim? I'm learning some Germans. Yay!
I know, I'm so proud of you.
The thing is, right, I always wanted to learn German because I think German is the best sounding language. We had to learn French, and everybody goes on about how French is the language of love, and it's like, no, French is just not rubbish, but it's not exciting.
German's just got that. It's the way it's spoken, isn't it? It's just got a strong stance to it.
It's basically a technical manual.
Yeah.
In the world languages, German is a technical manual. French is the poncy kid with the frilly sleeves that everybody takes the mickey out of. I learned French, but it's French.
Yeah.
Everybody says German's too complicated, but French is just far too complicated. It says too many words, whereas German gets away with it because it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Steve says Kriegshammer Sonntag, surely. I've not snapped a handle yet. I've done 2.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, the challenge will be on your side when you get to do yours. Using my knife just to get rid of the nub. Because the difficulty is if you cut them too close to the nub, when you cut them off the sprue, if you cut them too close to the handle, when you cut them, it massively weakens them, and then when you try and clean it up, you snap them. But if you cut them too far away, you've got too much of a nub to clean up, and then you're having to do too much work on the handle, and then you snap them. It's a real kind of luck of the draw. You just have to get it off the sprue at the right distance, almost nothing.
Oh, yeah, we all know who's going to break one then.
Excellent language for dog trainings too, says Muse.
Well, yeah, it's going to get the dog's attention, isn't it?
I remember hearing a thing once that said the best way to tell someone you love them is to shout it at them in German.
Oh, right,
because it tells them 2 things. 1, that you love them, and 2, that life is terrifying and confusing.
Yeah.
What I tend to do with these handles as well sometimes is once I've got them glued on and they're all set and it's the next day, if there's any little lumps and bumps left, I can go back and just very gently file or sand them when they're actually glued in place and fixed in place. Because they're a bit more stable then. If they do snap, they're already in place, so you just have to glue the 2 holes back together. Whereas if you've got it in your hand, you've just got 2 bits, you can just throw it away then. That's all you need to survive, Steve. My German is 30 years out of date, but I can get a double room with a shower or a bath and breakfast and order a beer, so I'm golden. And beer bitte.
I like his thinking.
Yeah. As long as in any language you can order a hotel room and a beer, you're sweet. This is all you need.
Yeah.
And also, if you can approach a policeman and report that your watch is missing, then you're also quite good. We learned that in French. If I ever go to France and lose my watch, I'm sorted. Or if I need to go to the swimming pool, I'm absolutely sorted. Or if I ever need to explain that the criminals who took my watch were driving a Reliant scimitar, because for some reason in my French textbooks the bad guys always drove a Reliant scimitar.
Yeah.
The Bertillon family were always attacked by criminals who drove Reliant scimitars, and I don't know why.
Jean-Paul and Marie France.
Yeah. Madame Monsieur Bertillon.
Yeah.
With the cat called... Oh, God, the cat was called No, the cat was called Mike and the dog was called Kiki.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the kids were called. Alain and Marie-Claire. That's Alain and Marie-Claire. Marie-Claude. Marie-Claude. Monsieur Bertillon worked at Orly Airport as a douanier, as a customs official. And he had to pursue some criminals who were devious criminals and actually had stripy tops. and drove a Reliant scimitar. And they always drove a Reliant scimitar.
All looked like onion sellers, didn't they?
Yeah. And it was in the book was from the 70s, so whenever it showed like photographs of women, they were like 1970s French women, and they always looked really kind of bit rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like a 14, 15-year-old British school kid who was full of hormones. The French women with their hairy armpits, and they was like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's a bit brutal.
I mean, this was in the mid to late 80s, and this was like early 70s photographs of people. It was like, oh dear. All the men had really dodgy moustaches, and all the women looked kind of terrified.
Yeah, all the men looked like Ron Jeremy, didn't they?
Yeah. Bonjour la classe, asseyez-vous s'il vous plaît.
Yeah.
Bon, alors, aujourd'hui,
yeah, Monsieur Moustache. Yeah.
Monsieur Moustache. La singe est sur l'arbre. Le souris est sur la table.
Got such fond memories, haven't we, of our time at school?
Yeah. Well, I was in the lower set, so I didn't get to learn German. I had to learn French. I mean, it was all right. I mock it, but it's just I don't know. German is more appealing to me in a listening to it sense.
Yeah.
It just sounds more mechanical and efficient and impressive.
Yeah. It's got a strength to it, hasn't it?
Like if somebody tells you to do something in German, you just do it.
Yeah.
If someone tells you to do something in French, you just go on strike.
Yeah, you just go, maybe, maybe not.
You just drive all your tractors to block the road and go on strike.
Yeah.
Not saying that the French strike at the drop of a hat, but the French do strike at the drop of a hat. Where are we up to? It means in or into the stream room store, for example. So im means into. Okay, welcome into the stream. I get it. Willkommen im Livestream mit Model Making Euro und also Festa 67's Workshop. Guten Tag, Festa 67.
Yeah, and all of that.
Fail.
Yeah.
Wie geht's? Right, I've got all my handles cleaned up. I had no snappage.
Oh, aren't you clever?
I need to make sure I'm watching carefully when you do your handles.
Yeah, so many hints he's dropping. In other words, Cole, could you stop what you're doing and do your handles?
No. I'm just saying, when you get round to do them, I want to watch. So many handles. I've only got one gun on that sprue. I'm going to cut it off because I can't have a whole sprue sitting there just for one gun.
No.
Like, oh, go round and round. Round and round in my tank life.
He's doing voices
see what I did
again,
there?
isn't he? I was so impressed.
What, myself?
I'm so impressed you're doing your voices.
What?
There you go. See, it's like he's from London, isn't it? It's uncanny.
You love it. It's rubbish, isn't it? Tell me honestly.
No, I'm impressed.
How rubbish is it? Tell me honestly. On a scale
BBC EastEnders might ring you up for a voiceover.
On a scale of Liberal Democrat to actual efficient politician that can do something, how would you rate it?
Monster raving loony.
Wow, that's pretty bad then. So basically, it could be Polish for all you know, and it's not that great.
I've heard worse.
You've heard Ted then? You can't use Ted.
Yeah.
You can't use Ted as a benchmark. That doesn't actually calculate.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Dick Van Dyke, put it that way.
Cool, blimey, Mary Poppins! Slap. If he hadn't done Diagnosis Murder, I still wouldn't have forgiven him for that shonky accent.
Yeah. With Ted, it's so funny because Ted started dropping his H's, isn't he? Mm-hmm. And it's really funny.
The thing is, whatever accent he does, it just sounds like that accent, but as if they came from Barrow.
Barrow, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, look, I'm Welsh, but from Barrow.
Yeah.
Look, I'm an Indian, but I've lived in Barrow for a long time.
Yeah, it's
look, I'm French, but from Barrow. Hello, I'm French. Hello. I can't really do a Barrow. It's actually hard to do a Cumbrian accent.
Yeah.
Because you try to do a Cumbrian accent, you end up doing like Bolton or Hull or somewhere.
Yeah. It's the fact that he sits there and he's so proud of himself because he's convinced himself that it sounds really authentic. And it's like, how do we break it to him?
I'm afraid, Ted, that Carl Sagan never actually said hello. Wasn't one of his known catchphrases, I'm afraid. Oh, the people!
Yeah, Ted with attitude is funny.
Steve says, I remember showing off and ordering food in a Mackie D's in Bielefeld, and because there's a British Army base nearby, the cashier said in perfect English, do you want fries with that? Lynn Dipple says, I took one semester of German and, well, I didn't pass. I think the thing with what are called the romantic languages, this is where it gets tricky for English speakers. Because with what are known as the romantic languages, like German, French, Italian, many European languages, they're based off Latin, and quite closely based off Latin in their mechanical conventions. So their structures, the way things are structured with like tenses and masculine and feminine, and different versions of words for my thing, your thing, their thing, his thing, her thing.
Yeah.
They've got all those built in, whereas English doesn't have that. And a lot of the structure of things like German and French and Italian and all the other different languages, they have that built in. They've just got a different structure to them. So so it works the same the other way around. When someone's speaking a romantic language, a Romance language, doesn't only speak English, it can get quite tricky. So the way we speak, I walked into the house. I walked into the house.
Yeah.
I walked, not, there's no masculine and feminine. The house is always just the house. It's not 5 different words for the, because it's either a masculine or feminine or a neutral. Whereas in, say, German or French, you'd say, into the house I walked, or some variation of that, or the house I walked into. Which, to an English speaker, makes no sense. It does make sense, but it's not natural.
No. No, it's not a way of abridging the language, is it?
No. So the one sticking point that a lot of people get when they try and learn from English to some other language, or back the other way, it's not that the language is complicated, it's that the underlying structure, the mechanics of it is hard to grasp.
Yeah.
If you're not naturally used to saying the house I walked into, I might say that cat is fat. No, that's not a better option. You might say the cat ate the fish, but the French might say the fish the cat ate.
Yeah.
Which makes sense when you think about it, but it doesn't, to an English speaker, it doesn't come naturally because we used to do it the other way around. So I don't think you can learn any language in like a year. So I'll give yourself a break there, Lynn. I think any language that's a Romance language, I think I've got that right, it's a Romance language, you've got to learn, it'd be like learning to speak Russian. Or anything where they don't use a standard Roman alphabet, like learning to read Arabic or Russian with its Cyrillic, or some of the really strange little sort of Thai and Korean language where it's all funny little shapes. There's some language I keep seeing on YouTube videos, and I've got to tell you, the titles it's a beautiful looking language. It's all circles.
All right.
It's not Vietnamese. I don't know what it is. It's all literally like circles. Every letter is based on a circle. It's like, wow, that's a beautiful look. I've no idea what it is. It's probably like...
not Filipino type language from that area, is it? Far East?
No, they're kind of more stressed out. It's more like I think it might be like something from sort of India or Pakistan or somewhere like that, or Yemen or somewhere.
Oh, right.
That kind of Asian language that's... Because it's all literally just circles. Everything's a circle almost. It's really beautiful to look at, like Bangladeshi, or I don't know what it is. It's very pretty. Let's have a look. Fox, I'm getting intimidated by the dirty pigeons. Wait, what? Lots of similarities between Welsh and German, and I was brought up on war films and World War II comics like Warlord and Victor, so had to pick up a little bad German along the way, says Steve. My German tutor said I had the accent down pat, but I've forgotten more than I learnt. And Welsh is a bit backwards like that. Fireman Sam, for example, is Sam Tan, literally Sam the Fire. Yeah, that's where the old joke of having, like, you know, Jones the engine as the train driver.
Yeah.
Or Die Station, because Die's the guy that works at the train. Die Station. I love that Welsh accent. There's lovely. Jones the barber. Right, so I've got all my bits cleaned up. That can go into the bits bag somewhere.
Oh, get your bits. Fox has got his bits out, folks.
I'll see if I can. Can I yet? I don't think I can do anything with that bit of sprue goo just yet. I don't think it'll be... Might be. Let's risk it for a biscuit and see what happens if I try and file it.
Are you going for it, are you?
File and see what happens. Like it might be an hour. An hour might be long enough. If not, I'll just do some battle damage.
Oh, like that, is it?
Yeah, well, I've got to be careful. I've got to kind of keep the shape of that area. I don't want to make it like a curvy bit, but I want to try and get it done. So we'll just see if we can gently sand it back. Keep that flat corner.
Oh, right, yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, it's sanding now, actually, quite nicely. Yeah, sprue goo, you don't have to leave it for 24 hours. It's like an hour sometimes.
Yeah.
A couple of hours at most, it's fine.
It becomes quite malleable.
Yeah, you're malleable.
I know, I like being malleable.
There's lovely. See, but Welsh does have the best slang word for anything ever. Like, you know, different languages have different slang names for things.
Yeah.
And you know this, but anybody who's never seen it before. My favourite slang name for anything is the Welsh slang name for a microwave.
Go on.
Pop-ti-ping.
Really?
Yep, because you pop the food in and it goes ping when it's done. Pop-ti-ping. Apparently it's not used that much, but it's...
Quite literal then, Welsh,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Pop-ti-ping. I stick it in the pop-ti-ping. And I love that. That's just the best thing ever. Pop it in and it goes ping.
It's all disappearing now, though, isn't it? Slang and things, you know, it's all disappearing.
I don't know. Language always evolves, though.
Of course it does.
Yeah. When people, you know, some people get upset that certain things and phrases are no longer around. It's like, yeah, but think what's replaced it. I mean, yeah. I may lament the mouth breathers that talk absolute gibberish and just make no sense at all. But at the end of the day, it's just the natural evolution of language.
Yeah.
Each generation sees a new development.
It all changes.
Yeah. Like if I sat here and talked to someone who was born in, you know, who was like 90. Or well, if I could transport someone from the 1950s to here now and speak to them, they wouldn't have a clue half the things I said.
No.
Because, you know, that's how language works. It evolves and changes. It's a living thing. It's a living thing.
Keeps it relevant as well, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it is frustrating when you get some mouth-breathing chap who's like, yeah, no, man, and it's like, you're not even using words.
Mouth-breathing child.
Yeah. It's like,
I love that phrase. Yeah.
But you kind of have to accept it in a lot of ways. Because it's just the way things are.
Yeah, it's...
So I actually read, what was it the other day? I read a Twitter conversation the other day. I can't remember what it was about. It's some irrelevant nonsense. I think it was about Starfit. Anyway, it was like some guy said something. And then somebody else said something in return. And this conversation ensued.
Mm.
And I have no idea what either of them said. Because it was all just like slang, like teenager slang. And I'm like, I kind of think I know what you're saying, but I really can't tell at all what.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, that just means I'm old. There's no way around it.
Pretty much, mate, yeah. That is classic you old fart syndrome,
you are old.
mate.
You've not picked up that part of the language. You never will.
Yeah.
Move
You
along.
are officially an old man.
Yep.
Sorry to say that, mate, but...
Oh, I know
Yeah.
it. I know my place. I don't think this filler has worked. I think it's just not worked at all. Ooh. Ooh. What are you drilling? What are you drilling?
I know.
I kind of I kind of walked into that one, didn't I?
Yeah, sorry,
I
mate.
can't complain. I kind of asked
That really
for that.
was...
I kind of asked for
That
that.
that really did help you, didn't it? Yeah,
I
sorry,
did,
mate.
I did kind of ask for that.
Marcus has put you in the super chat there,
Oh,
mate.
Marcus, thank you very, very much. You're an absolute star. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very, very much.
Ah, bless your heart.
Yes.
I drilled a hole to put my super duper aerial mount in. See, look.
Ooh. Well, I like your super duper aerial mount.
See, and that's going to sit just there. One each side, see?
Ooh, lovely.
I like that. They'll come up like that.
I like that.
Don't know why, it just seems to work.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I don't know whether to do it that way, have it sticky outy, or a bit of sticky outy bracketage works for me.
Yeah, sticky out is good because it makes your model bigger. Right, this hasn't worked and I'm getting frustrated with it now. Well, it has worked, but I can't sand it very easily and it's just looking like rubbish. I may have to just, I don't know.
It's a bit like arse, is it?
Yeah, it was like a nice flat surface you can sand, but it actually isn't because it's it's coming out now. There we go, that's a bit better. It's actually a lot trickier to sand than you think.
Sticky outy works.
I don't think it's going to look very good. Luckily, it's on the bottom of the turret, but not exactly ideal.
Chop a bit off the end of that,
Ooh, painful.
like that. There you go.
That looks like
Oh
a gash.
yeah, I like that. That'll work for me.
Looks like absolute garbage.
Absolute garbage,
Absolute
sir.
char. Absolute char.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Marcus.
What?
We try our best, Fox, don't we? We
Aye.
just chillax on a Sunday. No, hopefully we keep you entertained. We try our best.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yes, he says classy stream as always.
There you go. Lynn's dishing out to the hugs to Marcus.
Well, that's a complete garbage. Better filling there.
There
I think
you
it's
go.
time for
I
some
like-
plastic card fake panels. There we go. That's what'll fix it.
There you go. One aerial mount.
Oh, I like that. You can never ever
Okay.
sell that now. Not because you don't want to, but because there's no physical way you could ever pack that. Ever.
Yeah.
You're just never ever going to be able to pack it in a box. I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to stick some plastic card panels on that bit because it looks like
Good
absolute
man.
butt cheeks. Absolute butt cheeks. Cheeks of butt. And not even good cheeks of butt, but bad cheeks of butt.
You're not impressed then, no?
Absolute beans it was. Maximum fail. So I need to...
Yeah,
with
but
my-
at least you tried.
I need to, with my eye, completely guess a shape. Do you know what I've started using to cut straight lines now? Because I can't be bothered getting my metal ruler out. They're little metal braces that came with the inner shell for my Dodge Charger. They're great.
Good man.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hey, mate, if it does the job.
La la la. Lynn Dipple says, bees, 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 model making guru smiley. Bees. Bees.
There you go.
Do you know what?
So
Bees
it's
are
got
brilliant.
one of them. Is one aerial enough? I think it is.
No.
don't you? Would it look silly with two?
It would look Warhammer with two. I do not see a problem with this. I see no problem with this. Das ist richtig. Das ist richtig. Richtig, das ist.
Yeah, sod it. Let's have a matching pair then. There you go. See, that's how it's done. You just go, yeah.
Just go, screw it, do it. Screw it and do it.
Have you a bit of him. Have you a bit of that.
See, maybe it's like a radio car. Maybe it's like a special radio tank.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sonderkraft Fahrzeug something or other.
Needs plenty of communicatory devices.
Yes. Exactly.
In answer to Paul D. Tommaso, probably bristles off a brush, toothbrush, airbrush, something thin.
What's that for making air?
Oh, there you go. Bob Bobbins has put it in as well. Yeah, he said, what can he use to represent cat whiskers on his cat on motorcycle resin kit? Yeah, something like toothbrush bristles and airbrush.
Yeah. Yard brush bristles, depending on how big it is.
Yeah.
I need a pencil to actually draw on this thing. I'm just guessing it, cutting it to pieces. Where is my pencil? Oh no, I got my pencil. Where ist? Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it now. Right, my mapper. You can go there like that. Not quite there. That needs to be there like that. And that goes like that. And then that stops there. There you go, Tony. Lovely.
Yeah. We're going my trench, Tony.
Arr.
I cleaned that up, didn't I?
You did?
Say I'm mindful, family friendly. I'm good.
Family friendly. Dip it, dip it, dip. Now, just so everybody knows, my phone might ring at some point. Because Brother Fox, one of the Fox brothers, will be calling shortly to speak to Mama Fox. I'll only be gone for a minute, but I'll have to go and... because I can't trust Mama Fox to either hear the phone or be able to connect the call properly without cutting him off. So, she probably wouldn't even hear it anyway.
No.
I called last night, nobody answered. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Sigh. Look at that, Cole. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Covering up that
Massively
dirty,
impressed.
massive gap. Beautifully. Now, I need to make another one for the other side just to make it all match, really. Otherwise, it would be a bit silly. Little bit silly. But I've sanded that side, not sanded that side. So I think I need to use that as a template to draw the other one, because I'm never going to make the other one the same shape if in a million years, unless I draw around that one.
Proud of you, soldier.
Are you proud of my soldier? I've never shown you my soldier. Ugh.
Yeah.
Pervert. Oh, you're off, Harris.
Proud of you, soldier.
Get off my stylophone.
Yeah. Stylophone's gone, my God. Come on, be honest, how many people managed to get a decent tune out of a bloody stylophone?
I did.
Oh,
I used one in a piece of music once.
There's always one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Of course,
I had a stylophone gold, is what I had.
It was only like 3 notes that I used, but...
Yeah. Made famous by someone we no longer talk about.
Yes. Yes, I pity the company that tries to relaunch a stylophone nowadays. It'd be like, are you going to...
Yeah.
Bit of an image problem there now, surely.
Cool, yeah, I would have thought so.
Because they'd have to disassociate themselves from any of the earlier advertising type stuff.
Yeah, and how are they going to do it? Yeah.
Not in a swimming pool, that's for sure.
Well, it's like seatbelt campaigns, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a such a... There you go. And really add it... Why not put an eagle on the back as well?
Oops.
Ooh.
This is not going well.
There you go, folks. So I think that'll do for the turret.
Turret complete.
Let's get...
Physical. Sorry.
Oh my God.
See what I did there? Do you
I
see?
did. I'm
Do you
really
see
concerned
what I did there?
now. Olivia neutron bomb. Really? Fox.
Listen, I had no choice. Mama Fox used to run the keep fit thing at my primary school.
Oh, it's Mama Foxy's fault,
I had to
is
suffer
it?
all that nonsense.
Oh, let's throw poor Mum under the bus.
Exactly, damn straight.
Poor Mum.
Yeah, she did that. She was the librarian, and she did all the keep fit for the mums. So I used to sit there waiting for her while she was like, "Oh God, I have to listen to this crappy music."
I really don't know what to do with them smokestacks. The turrets need something, don't they? The sponsons. I can't think of what.
Sponsons! Well, the kit would have you, by default, glue the smoke launchers on there, but I don't know if I want to put the smoke launchers on there or, say, on somewhere on the turret, perhaps. Mayhap. Now, the good thing I've got here is that these little panels, they don't look identical, but then again, they're both on different sides of the turret, so you can't see them both at the same time. Does it really matter? I don't think.
Sod it, I'll put them on the turret, on the sponsons.
Do you put them on the sponsons? I would.
Yeah.
Put them on the sponsons? I would.
Yeah, sod it.
That needs to come down a little bit.
That'd be where they're going.
A little bit of a wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. I can hear delightful trickly noises. It's very happy times making.
Oh yeah, it's the thing. I've got the lid open on the fish tank because it's
Warms.
it's quite warm in there.
Yeah, you've got to look after your fishies.
I know it's a tropical tank and all of that lot, but
Yeah, but there's tropical fish and they don't necessarily want to live on the surface of the sun.
yeah, it's like, yeah, you don't want to boil them, you know.
No.
Right, so that's that. That's that. That's had a bit of that.
Have that. You slag.
Yeah, don't want that on there. Let the sprue goo go off on the front and then I can tidy that up. Not too fussed about that at the moment. And then what does that leave? Not gonna glue that on because it stays in place.
I know I'm off camera, but I'm just doing some delicate cutting nonsense.
So that'll glue somewhere like that. Okay. Got a bit of him on there. A bit of him. A bit of that.
Bit of them.
A bit of this.
A bit of that, bit of this.
And we need... Press that in. Get rid of that. Right. So, we have got... Leave that out, Col. Leave that out. That's the gunnage. That sits on his Harris on the back behind the guard. Happy with that.
Right, I'm going to stop fiddling with that and just glue the flipping thing on now because I'm losing my will to live with it. Let's just get it on. You know when you want to cut a panel a certain shape and you just fettle because you adjust this and adjust that and you're like, you know what?
Yeah,
I just need to go.
I did that on one of mine and it's like, do you know something? I'm stressing over making it look overtly neat and it's like, yeah, just bung some sprue goo on it. Just sand it.
Yeah, I'm not stressing, but it's just like I'm just bored of it now. I need to just get the thing glued on. If it's not quite symmetrical, then hey.
Hey, don't worry
Sue
about
me.
it.
Yeah, the good thing is you can't see the one on the left and the one on the right at the same time, so nobody can really see a comparison and say that's not the same on the other side. Shut up.
Yeah, it's the angle of your head. That's what it is.
You leave my head out of this. Oh, drop me a bit that I spent hours crafting. Hang on. There we go.
Oh. Fish
Trying
should
to
see
flip-
me stand up.
I'll tell you, one of the most challenging things is trying to flip over a small piece of plastic card
There you go.
without bending it. It's quite challenging sometimes.
Oh, they're happy now.
Right, there you go. And now I've been off camera for most of it. But what I've done is, I've added two little bits of card, one there, and one there.
Oh, nice.
Just to cover up that filthy, dirty, great gap that I messed up. There is a gap here still. I see a mould line, a join line, but you don't see that, and I can't be bothered cleaning that. So.
Yeah, I just filled it. Oh,
it just looks like
lazy.
a panel. So what I'm going to do now is, finish the stream because it's 8 o'clock. But what I think,
is it?
I think, yeah. But I think what we'll do in the next week is I'll be making little panels to go here and there, and adding some greebles, I think.
Yeah, I've added a few greebles already.
I know.
I didn't want to go mad.
You've gone mad, admit it. You've gone mad.
No, I've put a couple of panels on the Aris there.
Well, let me full screen. Let's have a look.
Put a grill in. Oh, that's a bit pissed, actually.
What have you done? Go.
I put a couple of little baby panels on.
Yeah.
On the sides. Ooh. Another one there.
Yeah.
I just need to straighten that because that's a bit drunk. Got me aerials.
I like them. Where have the aerials come from?
They was just in the greeble box. Okay. Can't remember what I got them from. I've got a bit of tube over the seam with an eagle stuck on it. Yeah. It's getting there. Just needs... Oh, yeah, and I've got a front panel on there as well.
6 more aerials.
Yeah, and then I've moved the things down the bottom there. So I've just got to straighten this up and neaten it up with a bit of sprue go, let that cure, and then up and sand it during the week.
The one thing with this kit, it doesn't come with the dozer blade, which is a shame.
Yeah.
So on mine, of course, I've done nothing on there. And I've added those 2 bits of plastic. But what I'll do next week, I think next week will just be a fettling and greeble show, won't it? I think next week.
What we'll do is put your full screen whilst you explain it instead of me.
Well, there's nothing to see. I've really put those little bits of plastic on there like that.
Yeah.
To cover that gap. Luckily, my Canon came out alright. I've got to clean up that little gap there where the mantle is for the Canon.
Yeah.
It's a bit rubbish. If I can't clean it up and get rid of it, I'll just quite simply put some plastic card strip across it so it looks like a bit of like a brass plate type, like that kind of thing across there. So next Sunday, I think I'll just be adding greebles and little bits of panels, like that needs something, and little extra bits of panelling.
Yeah.
Just to fill out the time next week. Because then what we can do the week after is have got it all primed up and ready.
Absolutely, mate.
So I've not finished yet, so we can't do that yet. I mean, you can if you want. Happy with yours.
I've got what's his name filling to do and neatening up in a few areas. So
Cool.
Yeah, I want to do a bit of fettling and a bit of finagling.
I need to sit and watch you clean your handles up.
So and I've got them handles to do next week. So yeah.
Are you going to drill out your smoke dispensers or leave them with the caps on?
Don't know what to do, mate, with them, to be honest with you. Probably leave them with the caps on, to be honest with you. Yeah. Makes no odds.
I never quite know if the cap on means it's a grenade launcher and the cap off means it's a smoke. I don't know. I'm not very sure anyway.
Normally the caps get blown off when they get used, don't they? Yeah,
I do not. I like to say if the caps are on, it's a grenade launcher. If I drill it out, it's a smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Generator.
Nah, let's just leave the caps on.
Always excuses. How are you going to get some easy line on it? Do you reckon somewhere?
Probably. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I've got some like. That'll be my brother. 1 second.
Lynn says, looking good. See you on the reruns next Sunday. Great show. Take care. Bye. I'll let him know, Steve. He should be back in. He says, I can play the theme to the Thin Man on Stylophone, the Orson Welles version. Oh, good man. Yeah. Yeah, he says he's got spare dozer blade for Fox. Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, I've got to cut them handles, get them sorted, and then it's just go round and tidy it up. Needs a bit of TLC. No worries, mate.
He's very good. He tries to call out then when I finish streaming, but I'm still going. I've got to sort all this out as well.
Steve Mundy says he might have a spare dozer blade.
Ooh, well, I'm going to put one on mine, but if you want to put one on yours, I think I've got a spare one somewhere. Yeah. But I've got to put something on the back of the Do something with the back of the turret. Maybe put some plastic panels on there and then a greeble on top.
Yeah, it was just something short and simple, really. That's all I've done there. It was just, put that on there. It's good enough.
Yeah. So I'll find some greebles. I'll see if I've got some spare las rifles and things lying around that I can maybe, attach to the side with some fake leather straps or something, some sort of stowage option. But again, nothing too complicated that I'm not going to be able to show you how to paint.
No, that's right. That's why I didn't go mad.
Yeah. Trying to keep it all to stuff that's going to be tank coloured anyway.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
And if there is anything I add that's not on yours, then I'll just won't show you how to paint that. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's...
Cool. I do like Leman Russes. They are great little tanks.
Well, yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yeah. So that'll do us. Like I say, next week we'll just do the last little bits of fettling and greebles then. And then the week after, all being well, we'll have had a chance to go out and spray them.
Yeah,
with a rattle can.
Absolutely.
So I shall call it a show. Thank you very much to everyone who's been watching. Thank you very much for your company as always, Colin. Always appreciate it.
It's all right, mate. It's my pleasure, mate. Yeah. Always, you know that.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, no.
Have you got Spurs?
I've got Spurs, mate.
What noise do they make?
Jangle, jangle, whatever it was. Jing, jing.
Jingle, jangle, jingle.
That's the one.
As you roll merrily along.
Yeah, I certainly do, mate. And very merrily I roll along and all.
Good lad. Well, I hope all you out there in Chatland have some Spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle nicely as well. I can't remember who it is you need to blame for this now, but there you go. But yes, thank you everyone for watching. It really means a lot when you do watch us, because it means we're validated, we exist, and people like us.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to support our channels, you can do. You can become a patron or a channel member, because we both depend on our supporters to keep us going. If you want to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru and support me that way, or you can press the join button underneath any one of my videos to become a channel member. You get loads of extra freebies, loads of exclusive stuff. Members get little icons in the live chat on YouTube, and both of them get access to the live 24/7 Zoom hangout.
Absolutely.
Which is like an online thing where you can hang out and have good fun, and there's an associated Facebook group as well. And don't forget, you can do the same for Colin. Over to you.
Patreon.com/Festa67's workshop,
That's the
or
one.
you can click the join button on the YouTube channel under any of my content, or at the top of the page to become a channel member. Likewise, it gives you access to the Zoom 24/7, and it helps me keep making content for you all.
It's the same 24/7
massively appreciated.
Yeah. But until then, don't forget, just even the simplest thing is just like and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future live streams. I will be back, of course. I know I'll be back on Friday with Colin on his channel for the Friday Frolic, and then back next Saturday.
Absolutely.
I'll also be back with Fallout on Friday afternoon and some more Cyberpunk on Saturday.
Is it E-models this week, or are we a week off?
I think it's E-models this week, tomorrow. I think so.
I thought we did one. Didn't we do one last week?
Nope. No, we didn't, did we?
I don't know. Did we?
I've forgotten now.
I'll have a look on their website.
I don't think we did one last week. It was the week before, because I didn't have my camera working. But yes, but don't forget. So I'll see during the week if I can get some time, in the same way that I did all my Dodge Charger part work stuff last week or this week. I'll see if I can get a few hours this week to do a live stream of my Iron Man part work. For patrons and channel members only will get access to it live, so they can join in the live chat and watch live. And then once it's finished, of course, I'll then make it available to everybody else. So do make sure you're a patron or a channel member. But other than that, what have you got coming up this week, dude?
E-models tomorrow, because there wasn't a show last week.
Yes.
And Wednesday, E-models Wednesday at the bench, 5:30 in the evening with me and Dave.
Yes.
Friday Frolic with yourself, and obviously the Sunday at the bench. However, all being well, I might be able to do a Grim Fandango this week.
Ooh. Yes, please. Yes, please.
So,
sort that nonsense out.
So hopefully, if I get an opportunity, I can get that sorted this week, folks.
Because the thing is, right, a gaming live stream requires no effort, and you get to play video games.
Absolutely, but also bearing in mind I'm doing a lot of filming this week, so...
you can't be at the bench all day.
Exactly, so, all being good, I can manage to squeeze one in. So
Steady
keep an
now,
eye out.
steady nurse.
Remember to subscribe, ring the bell, and then that way you'll get the notifications.
Yes, but until then, everybody take care of yourselves. Have yourself a good rest of the weekend. We will see you all very soon on this channel and Colin's channel. Until then, take care of yourself. Oh, God, set my thing up. Take care of yourself. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. You there, be awesome. And until next time,
Adios amigos.
oh!